I used to be somebody before that freak Iuzian sent his army south and ruined everything. We had a nice racket going on in the land of the freelords, or what the rest of the Flanes calls the Bandit kingdoms. We had a territory we ran, and we hustled and stole what we could from who we could. Sure, we fought amongst ourselves, and I'd just as soon stick my dagger into someone from the freelords as anywhere else. But we always banded together when an outside force threatened all of our businesses. But all that changed when Iuzian came a-calling. Half of the freelords joined forces with Iuzian to save their skins, and the other half got wiped out or sent packing to the other lands, or down into the rift. I was no hero, and neither were any of my mates. So after the massacre of Steelbone Meadows, we did what any guys in our situation would have done. We hightailed it out of there. The only problem is that everywhere we went, there were old enemies waiting. After finally getting corralled by the Ernst soldiers, I was left to rot in a dungeon, waiting for them to decide what to do with me. The way the guards look at us, I don't think we're gonna like what it is they have in store.
Branched off into Pavarotti in 6th grade then?
I did, yeah. I've always been a fan of Mozart. Hey, and we're live, everybody.
Hey. We were just talking about everybody's first album that they bought. Yeah.
Not that we made.
No, we're not album.
No, the first album I ever made was called 100% Cotton.
It's the fabric of life.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Anyway, this is D&D Tuesday here in Wicked Studios LLC.
Episode 42.
Not
Episode
Adam, this
42.
is your life. Episode 42 of Return to the Bandit Kingdoms.
That's right.
Shit.
Yeah, and
We're going on a year. We're going on a year of D&D here. What are we on Twitch? Twitch, if you'd like to be a sponsor.
That's right.
I may not remember what you are, but we'd love to have your money.
You know where to find us.
Yeah, I'm sure they're up there going, we got to get these guys.
These are the ones.
They were just waiting for the offer.
Yeah. Well,
We don't want to seem too eager. Let them come down.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're playing, the long game. Just as long as Frank Creed's watching, that's all. That I'm happy. That's all I really ask.
Frank Creed was around. Frank, were you there from episode 1? You were there early on.
I'm pretty sure he was. I'm pretty sure he was.
Yeah, definitely the first couple.
Yeah. Is he not on now? I talked to him earlier in the chat. Oh, maybe he's.
Yeah, this is the audience participation part of the show, Frank.
Yeah, come on, step it up, Frank.
You're embarrassing us, Frank.
Well, with that having been said, hello, everybody. I'm Will DM, the Dungeon Master for this year, Return to the Bandit Kingdoms. And like Adam said, episode 42. It will
Technically
be a
Jarrus
year.
Steve
Episode
first,
2.
yeah.
Frank just said he came
Episode 2. I think that sounds about right.
Yeah. And
Frank.
so in May, Frank, it's going to be a year. I think it's the 13th, but I could be wrong.
I don't know.
Yeah, we're just, to be unofficially unofficial.
Technically, we have 10 more episodes for a full year, but we took some time off. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
And then we had some interludes during the holidays. So,
well, just in existence,
We're like,
we've been in existence for that long. So
Not a year's worth of content, but a year's.
Yeah, close.
Yeah, 42 out of probably a potential 40.
I think we only took off like 2 weeks, and then we had the other 2 weeks of the Christmas stuff. So
yeah,
we're only 6 shy.
Yeah, not bad. Better than a regular TV show.
Yeah, fuck you,
by
TV.
Whereas
We didn't want to be on.
More strenuous production schedule.
We didn't. They don't just show up and turn on their computers.
Yeah.
Huh, that's weird.
Well, with that having been said, like I said, hello, welcome to Return to the Bandit Kingdoms. Let's introduce this fine, fabulous cast that we have here, and we're gonna just go from right to left, and we're gonna start with Steve.
All right. Hello. I'm Steve, as was mentioned. I will be playing Wyndon. who is almost just slightly seeing the faintest pinprick of light at the end of this ridiculously long dark tunnel, hopefully. And let's see how it goes.
Yeah, you sound like you're gargling a little bit there, Steve.
Okay.
I feel
Try
like
to make it.
If you
Does
need
this
to
sound
gargle,
better?
though, if you need to, go ahead and gargle. I mean,
Yeah.
No, I think it's my internet. It's been all weird.
Oh, yeah,
But
no,
you guys
it's-
been slow and fast and robotic, so
all right. Adam.
Hey everybody, I'm Adam. I'm playing Talan Ravengard, the warlock, the reincarnated version of Andronady, aka Silverwolf, the ranger / barbarian before he got killed trying to
fight the city.
trying
He
to
was trying to
murder
fight
a
the city.
city of orcs by himself.
it was more of like a suicide.
And I think we tend to forget that Silverwolf, Adam's first character, Andronady, is actually the cousin of one of
Of
Jarrus's
Raleigh, yeah, Raleigh.
two.
That's right,
Yeah,
Raleigh,
Raleigh.
Raleigh 80. Raleigh running, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And that's a great segue. Hey, Jarrus, it's your turn.
Oh, look at that.
That was
I am
nice.
Jarrus. I play Raleigh, and I make words with my mouth, hopefully for your entertainment.
Your mouth entertains me.
I
That's all I gotta
haven't- Interestingly, I haven't noticed this. In 42, I've got to start paying attention.
There you go. All right, Michael, last but not least, of course.
Yeah, I don't know how to follow that, so I'm
Right.
Take it as you will.
So to speak.
Right?
I am Michael, and I am playing Ash, who is a cleric who has really started to embrace who and what he is.
Freaks me out, man.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I think for the most part that freaks most people out, but you know.
Yeah.
Excellent. You know, I don't do this enough. I don't let you guys do the recaps enough. So why don't you do the recap of the last episode for the lovely audience?
Well,
Don't-
Ash had a really enjoyable time after his captains were killed, raising them back up as zombies and cleaning them up. And then had been a request made to conceal their identities, so he basically stripped off their clothes and put bags over their head, and then made them go out and dance as entertainment for the Lord there of Lord Zeech there of the city there, and then, he wasn't as impressed as Ash thought he should be, and then Ash began to plot his revenge.
Solely based on this.
Yep,
So-
nothing else. Not the fact that he was nice and paid you guys.
Well,
and
he was,
real
I mean,
friendly.
he was a Nazi, let's be fair. And you can
He's
be
got some staunch principles.
you can
I
be a
mean,
charismatic Nazi, but you're still a Nazi.
End of the day.
And
we
you
met-
can pay people for their services and
Mhm,
still be a Nazi.
which
Very true.
So
And also, we are not trustworthy individuals.
No.
And,
this is true.
yeah.
This
If
is
you
And
true.
we've
trusted
been
us, that was his
pushed
fault.
around for way too long. We were pushed around by everybody from day one, stealing these fucking gnomes, stealing our souls, Iuzians, now Zeech and the Horn Society and the
Well, Zeech didn't push you around. He just hired you.
well, he just hired us, but still, I mean, it was all for his. All he cared about was himself.
Well, of course.
So right. So what we did is we agreed to take care of these two pirate captains, so he could legally take their ships.
That's true.
He would
And
let
he
us
did.
use these ships and provide a crew for us to get onto the Soul Train, where we were supposed to.
Which is another ship.
Which other
that was
ship? Yeah, the ship
sailing
named
out
the
of
Soul Train.
Radagast City.
not a literal train.
1970s
Yeah.
music. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Soul Train, which is a ship out of Norway. Which is because I thought that would be the most ridiculous place for a ship called Soul Train to be from,
Right.
frankly.
Yeah.
The polar opposite of where you would expect.
Right.
Anyway, if you have to explain the joke, it's not that funny, so I get it.
As the audience, I'm sure.
And we were supposed to bring it back to him. Because he was pretending to work for Krasner, who's an Iuzian dickhead, who had been bossing us around and making us get. And Krasner also wanted us to bring this ship to him and also spy on Zeech because he didn't trust Zeech. So what do? We, as we're teleporting, which was so nice of him to give us this teleport spell to get onto this boat.
Super helpful.
Yeah, as we were doing that, Talan dropped a demon called a Balgura onto onto Zeech's new ship, and then Morgan just dropped a fireball and blew that thing to hell. And we decided that we were going to join forces with whoever was on the Soul Train.
It's a good thing that worked out because we had no exit.
We had no idea.
There was no exit strategy. It was just pretty much, well, let's hope everything goes okay.
Right.
I mean, that's part of the course, really.
Yeah.
So.
Right. But I like to think that that's what helped seal the deal. Is
It
like,
did.
oh yeah, put your money where your mouth is. What
It
we
did.
did. See that
And
ship?
who was on the other ship, the ship carrying the souls out of
The
Radagast?
fucking good guys.
The good guys,
that
yeah,
we played back
Yeah.
in, I don't know, the winter sometime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometime when it was too cold, my pipes were freezing. I had to wear 15 layers. Look at me. I got skin.
Yeah.
Right.
We lost the last of our snow yesterday here, and we're getting 2 feet tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
God.
yeah. There's a lot of
Well, Denver is supposed to be like 80 tomorrow, and then snow the next day, and then have a bomb cyclone drop on them. So,
yes, we are.
so this may be the last time we see Will.
Yeah,
We're now accepting applications for Dungeon
for
Master.
DM, right?
It's been real, and it's been
Unfortunately,
nice.
your first name needs to be Will.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I don't want to
We're not
redo.
changing
I don't want to redo everything. So your name has to be, or you could just legally change it, as that's also fine.
All we need is someone to say, "I will DM," and be like, "Great, you're Will." He'd be like, "No, I will."
There it is.
Yeah, no,
There it is.
you're Will now. Great.
Yeah. So this is where we're going to go ahead and pick up. So you guys made it onto the boat that you've dubbed the Soul Train because
the money
it was
train, that was early on.
yeah. So the Soul Train, and because it's delivering all the souls that the good guys and the people from the county of Ernst had found when they uncovered this plot that was going on within their borders. So you teleported over there. You ran into there was an elf on board, which he introduced himself as Vin, and you guys talked to him. He seemed like a complete badass, which he was, and still is. And then the other crew members were the good guys, which were the 4 characters that you guys.
Who
had.
was Captain Claxton? That was the dickhead that we blew up on the other boat.
Well, she wasn't really a dickhead. You guys really didn't interact with her all that much.
She worked for Prince Zeech, and Prince Zeech
Yes.
betrayed the Shield Land, so fuck them all.
Yeah.
There you go. There is that. That is true. So yes, Claxton
And was a white human supremacist. So
Yes, which she wasn't, surprisingly. Well, as far as you could tell underneath all of her tattoos.
Yeah.
So, but so basically you guys cut a deal with Vin there and said, hey, we're soulless guys. These might be our souls. You guys did have that conversation with him, did you not? Am I remembering?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And so he was like, great, you can come with us to Greyhawk City. And that's where we left off. And that's where we shall pick up. So as you guys are on the deck of the Soul Train, because that's just what it's going to be called from now on, and the boat is making its way, it has veered and is going south. Now, where you guys actually intercepted them was really close to the coast, because most people, when you're sailing the Near-Div, you really don't go out into the open water so much. The Near-Div is actually, its nickname is the Lake of Unmeasurable or
Unknown depths.
Unknown Depths. Thank you. And it is super deep, and there's a lot of super big monsters that kind of like hang out in
Critters.
yeah. So most ships kind of stay close to the coastline, and so where you intercepted the Soul Train and teleported it onto their deck was close. So they're doing this same meandering. Now it increases the amount of time that you have with your sailing when you do something like that, as opposed to making just a straight beeline like you need to. But you guys watch for several hours as there's just a column of black smoke in the distance coming off of the pirate ship that Captain Claxton had brought you close into, so that you could go ahead and teleport over to the Soul Train. So yeah, so you guys are just there and you're sailing, and Vin, who is just hanging out on the deck, kind of gives you like the nickel tour. And he goes, there's the front, there's the back, there's, stuff below decks. There's plenty of room. And something you guys, nobody actually noticed this when you first teleported over, because as soon as you came over, you were just completely eyes all on this elven warrior with his full regalia, elven like plate and his shield and his big shiny spear. There is essentially an automaton sailing the ship, so it's like a robot construct that's up at the wheel.
It's helpful.
Just doing its thing. And there's no crew. The only crew are the four good guys, which the four good guys were who? One, I'm going to go, we'll go from left to right this way here. Michael, do you remember who your guy was?
Gad with axe.
Which was a Toidle.
A turtle, yes.
Turtle.
Yes.
A Toidle.
Oh,
Who
a
loved to walk
turtle,
on
you
the
say?
Mhm.
Little bit of a Lionel Richie act going on.
Yeah. And what was Jairus's character?
It was Yog, the half-orc barbarian zealot to a peace god.
Okay. And Adam, your character was that really pale elven dude, right?
He was Alar Moonbrook, a wizard, elven wizard.
And okay, I'm sorry, were you done? All
I'm
right.
done.
And Steve, yours was
I believe it was Altus.
Yes.
Tan, a human life cleric.
That's exactly what he was. He was a life cleric. All right. So they're the only other crew, and they kind of like hang amongst themselves. They're not being rude to you guys. They will say hi or converse with you, but they seem to have they seem to be sticking in their own clique, so to speak.
Because Talan was going to have a long conversation with Alar.
Okay.
Just kidding. Because that would just be me talking to myself.
If you want to take up that kind of time, I mean,
No, let's see it now.
Yeah.
Cut it off and chew it up.
I don't
Yeah.
remember what Alar sounded like. So
I'm pretty sure it was like a country bumpkin. Howdy, my name's Alar. I'm an elven wizard.
that probably was it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
Anyway,
the first day, I mean, you guys are sailing along. Is there anything that you want to do on the ship now that everything is been ironed out, and Vin and them have your assurances, and they feel pretty confident that you guys are all in the up and up? There was a little bit of apprehension about a death cleric being on board, but hey, each to their own. He seems to be a good.
See, the good thing about Ash is that he makes Talan kind of look a little bit normal.
Yes. Grading on a curve.
Yeah.
yeah.
So Vin, he's got that chair that he has set up on the deck. He just starts lounging in the chair again. He brings out like an umbrella that he attaches to the back of the chair, so he's got shade, and he's got a little table with like a little pitcher and some water and stuff.
Paperback books.
He's like the old Brooklyn women on the sidewalk is basically.
There you go. And
he has curlers in his hair still.
And how would that sound? Give me your Brooklyn old lady on the sidewalk.
I don't know.
Voice.
I gotta prepare for that one.
Oh gosh,
I don't know what they talk. I don't know what they talk about.
They talk about their grandkids. Come on now.
Like, Evelyn, did you hear about Ricky? What about Ricky?
Ricky, you say
Ricky.
Ricky?
Ricky, when he's going
What
to
about? No, I can't do
he's
it.
going to dental school. Dental school? He barely passed high school. How's he going to dental school? Maybe he should get his own teeth fixed. Yeah, that kind of.
Pretty good for off the cuff
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's-
Yeah,
Yeah.
must
Well
be all that formal training.
That's
There it
just
is.
walking the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so
Students for people.
is anybody going to do anything?
Well, besides like try to get my soul back.
Yeah, right. Like Winded will kind of try to figure out when they're going to be able to try to get their soul back and how.
I'm actually going
okay.
to ask a bunch of questions about these souls and what we know about them, and
Okay.
can they be destroyed? Can they be released back into the normal people?
Into the
Can they?
wild.
What's the whole plan for? I'm just asking a million questions.
So
Like,
okay, so if I'm seeing this correctly, you guys just kind of like crowd around Vin as he sits back down and starts to sip on some of his tea, and
Yes.
okay,
yeah, pretty much
go
just,
ahead, shoot.
I
So
stand
what
off to
about
the
these
side.
questions? What about these souls? Can they be put back? Can we take them out and study them? Can I put one into the zombie here and see what happens? I really need to know about these things. It's very exciting and interesting. If we just let someone release them, do they just fly away? Could we could we just banish them out into existence? What studies and what research has been done? I need to know.
I turn to Winded and I say, I have never seen Ash so ebullient. I feel like this is very cute. He is isn't
I don't know. It's very excited.
It's very excited.
Something. I was wondering if we got into the coffee a bit heavy there.
And Vin looks at you and goes, I have no idea. The Warrens and the other wizards said that they are going to be taking a look at these souls.
So basically,
They are
souls-
downstairs. If you would like to take a look at them, I can show
I
you.
would
Souls
love
stuff's
to
on
go
pause
downstairs.
though until we get to Greyhawk. Is that what I'm hearing here?
Essentially, I mean, no one on board here knows what to do with the
All right.
souls, and I would
That's
hate
fine.
for you to damage or lose a
We
soul.
could do some research and discover what to do with them.
How are they being transported? Are they
Well,
in
come with me. And he gets up and he actually leaves his shield and spear upstairs on
And now he took our weapons, or at least my shield, because my weapons are all
Yeah, he took him and
in the
he
shadow
locked him
realm.
in a box.
Sure.
okay.
And like, remember I said it was it's a chest that's bolted to the deck of the ship. It's got a rather rinky-dink padlock on it.
Yeah, it's super easy to
Yeah.
pick, if I remember,
Right.
Pick or just knock the hell
or
off.
just beat open. Yeah.
Yeah.
Smash it with a hammer.
Yeah. So I mean, your weapons were put into there.
Okay.
So he goes walking over to the well, you know what? I think I've got.
What is there? Is there a map?
Well, I you know what? I don't need to pull the map out. It's not necessary. So he takes you below deck.
Oh, I guess
Okay.
there's not a map. So much for that.
There is a map, but it's better to do theater of
Unnecessary.
the mind for these things, because whatever map I pull up will do a pale comparison to what your own
I have
mental
no imagination.
paintbrush.
It's fine.
I don't even
They-
speak English.
So he takes you downstairs. There is downstairs. There's the hold, but then also there's different rooms that are downstairs. He opens just a door, and there are crates, tons of crates in this room. He walks over to one that is a crate sitting on top of another crate, and it's nailed shut. And he casts his hand over it, and then he mumbles a little something under his breath, and the nails start shaking and coming up, and they come up enough so that then he can just grab it and he pulls it open. And he reaches in. It's full of like hay. He reaches in and he pulls out a clay. It looks like a clay pot with a neck on it, like a small squat clay bottle, I guess. It appears that there's some sort of stopper in it, and there is a wax seal over the top of that, and there's some runes written on the side. These contains a soul.
All right. Well,
It could possibly be one of your souls.
That would be incredible.
What do
if
the
the
runes
first one you
say?
picked up was one of theirs.
I don't know.
Do you have an idea of how many you have on this ship?
Yes, we have 542.
That's a lot.
Can I read the ruins?
Sure, of course. Just be careful with it, please. Keep in mind there's someone's soul in there that would probably wish to have that back.
Yes.
You're
And
talking,
he actually,
you're talking to the wrong man.
He hands it to Ash.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna try to read the.
Ash immediately pops the bottle and swallows it.
Not
Seems
that
like more of
insane.
a Raleigh move.
Okay, do you have Arcane as a skill?
Arcana? No, I'm not proficient in Arcana.
Okay.
Let me see if I am. I don't think I am, but
You
I
can
might be.
still go ahead and make a roll. Basically, it'll tell you if you're able to just.
No, not only am I not proficient in Arcana, I am extremely poor in Arcana.
As is apparently.
Kind of studying it, going, huh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Here, Raleigh, you're more of the inclined to this magical.
Or just Morgan still.
This is still Morgan. So Morgan looks
whatever.
at it.
Whichever one you are.
And,
Morgan rolled a 20, so he did pretty well.
Morgan knows exactly what it is.
It says Winden Frostveld.
excellent.
You
What
know
else
If
worth
found,
doing?
please return to.
You know what? Here it is. Here it is. Steve, I
Yeah.
want you to roll me a D100.
Or
Yeah, a D
or
a D 512 or whatever the number was.
Oh, I guess you could do that. Yeah, sure. 542. Roll a D542. Stranger
Yeah.
things have happened.
So what am I looking for? 542, 1 or what?
217.
Okay, yeah. 217 is the one you're looking for.
Yeah. Nope.
Okay.
So close.
Yeah,
He
definitely.
found Raleigh's, though.
Yeah.
Does it say Bromir on it?
Yeah.
It says basically you can tell that some of the runes that are on there because there's a number of them. It's not like
Holy shit, it's
Holy
Raleigh!
shit!
Holy shit, it's Raleigh!
Holy
Shit!
that's bullshit. You did not just roll.
He
I
rolled
rolled
one-
a
He did.
1D542.
He rolled a D
217.
542. Roll a
What are the
D17.
fucking odds of that?
1 in
Okay.
542.
All right, so
That's-
Morgan,
That's what the odds are.
allow me to tell you what you hold.
That's right.
That is insane. Okay, for those who are listening and not seeing what's happening here, is okay. Basically, there's 542 of these clay jugs that contain souls. Okay, they joked around, said, "Oh, it could be Windens, right?" And so it's like, okay, so what's the number you want? 217. He rolls, doesn't get it. So Jarrus, just messing around, he rolls, and what does he roll?
217.
That really is incredible.
So, what you're holding, that's yeah, wow. Okay, a little flabbergasted on that. So, it is a clay pot.
You win D&D.
Yeah. By the way, take
We're
experience.
tired now, guys. It's
You've
not gonna
got
get done.
not persuasion. What the hell is that?
Inspiration.
Arcana?
You got inspiration if you don't have it. So
Excellent.
Everybody
the
or just
runes-
Jairus?
just yours. You kidding me?
Okay.
You guys didn't. Do
I
that.
didn't do anything.
So-
I was wondering why you were. I would have taken it, but I didn't
Yeah,
understand
you
why.
Printed on there and written in like the silver ink of some type are runes that are definitely runes that are for containment. But then there are runes that spell out a name arcanically. And the name on the one that was handed to Morgan says Raleigh.
Holy
Maybe.
shit.
So you now hold in your hands Raleigh's. So is that enough to make Raleigh's? You sure hell could have won the lottery tonight.
No, Raleigh's got to come back now.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's what I was saying. Does Raleigh just come to the surface?
Oh,
now
for
that he's
sure.
holding it?
For sure. And he's like, holy guys, it's, woo! And he's just going to drink it. Is it liquid?
Wait.
Before, now wait.
That would be. No,
But
let him do
wait.
it. Let him do it. Let's see what
No, well,
happens.
hold on.
I'm ready for the wait.
This might dictate whether or not Raleigh is the one who comes back right away. Because as Morgan is just dumbfounded that it's the Raleigh soul, you turn it, and as you're turning in your hands, on the opposite side is Morgan's name.
Oh, all right. We got to go. Let's roll a d20 then.
Okay, so
1 through 10 would be Raleigh. 11 through 20 will be Morgan.
okay.
Dun, 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 dun. Raleigh.
Okay, so Raleigh it is. Okay, so Raleigh just kind of boom. You guys, what happens? How does that appear when because this is different than normal. So what happens?
So so he just kind of has this knack where like maybe there's like a creek in the boat and no one ever sees it, but he always like you just look and there's Raleigh. Like you never ever see him turn his coat inside out or make the change. He's just makes the change.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So you're there and you're holding it, and what does Raleigh do?
I mean, like. All right, so it's got a top on. I'm going to crack it open. What's it look like inside?
Okay, as soon as you go to start cracking it open, Vin goes,
Yep.
Wait, what are you doing? You can't do that. You can't open that. There's a soul in there, and we don't know how it's going to react.
It's me. Yeah, I can't open myself. Really?
That's
I can't eat
out of all of these bottles, this one here is yours.
217, motherfucker. That's me.
I don't know what this 217 means, but
I'm sorry if you can't read, but my mama taught me, and that says Raleigh.
Now,
please,
Raleigh,
if it is yours, I will allow you to hold on to it. But please, we still don't know.
right. It
You
took
could
magic
open
to
it.
get this out. If you just open
you
it,
could-
I don't
yes,
think that
Listen
it will.
to your friend. You could open it, and your soul could be cast into the ether. You don't know if that is what is necessary for you to reclaim your soul.
Raleigh
But I will
hears
allow
this,
you
and
to
there's like
hold on
this
to it.
little bit of panic over his face, and he quickly looks to Wyndon, and he's like, "Is this true?"
Probably.
There you
Oh
go.
Jesus! Oh, good.
You might want to
Wyndon,
actually
thank
put
you
it
so
back.
much for saying something. I could have died.
Yep.
That's
Why don't you
very
just put it back in its nice, safe, soft, hay-packed area rather than have it on your body where it could just break at any time.
Yes, please put the container back into there. I mean, if you need to, I will allow you to hold on to it. And
I'm gonna hold on to.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. But please take very good care of it. I would, if it is your soul that is contained within that, I don't want it to be broken and then for you to have lost your soul completely. That would be
Never.
terrible.
No, of course not. No. Holy shit!
It won't
Guys,
be
I got
long.
my soul back. I don't feel any different though. I
Well,
still-
because it's still in a jar. There is really no difference between you not knowing where your soul is and you holding it here right now.
This is a
I can't
shame
wait
because
to eat an apple. When I get my soul back,
if
I'm gonna
you-
eat an apple. It's gonna be
if you
so good.
wish,
You can.
I know that there are a number of you here that do not possess souls. If you wish, I will allow you to look through the crates to find them.
Sure. That could be useful. Save some time later.
You
Just
can
because imagine if I got it twice. I'm going to assign Ash. Or no, it's just Wyndon left. I'm going to assign
Yeah.
Wyndon
Of course.
the number of 100.
And sort of Silver Wolf.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, I guess how does that? Or no, his is left, right? Because Silverwolf died, so that's his soul escaped. But 103. I'm looking for Wyndon's. Now 241. Okay.
Okay.
Could you imagine?
No, I couldn't because I would be yelling at you for not running out immediately and playing the lottery.
It's too late. He already. Yeah,
Yeah,
his
he
luck
blew
has been
that magic.
blown. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gone. That's gone.
You know, it's like rolling a natural 20 on your initiative
Now,
roll.
here's
You're not
the-
going to
here's-
get one during combat.
Yeah.
Right. It's over. Yeah, that was it.
Here's the problem. Here's the bad thing is that Raleigh can't read these runes, can he?
No.
No. He's
It's just Morgan. It's just
Yeah.
Morgan. So
Yeah.
essentially, what are you doing? You just like humoring Wyndon? You're like, oh, that's not it. That's not it.
Oh,
No.
wait.
He just picked one up and just tossed it to Wyndon. Like that's your soul. It's not- he's just like he's got the touch.
You
now.
know what? I'll wait till some other time. We can just put this back right now. That's
And he
fine.
does toss
Right.
it. Like that is he
please.
physically tosses Wyndon.
Yeah.
That's
Luckily, Wyndon's very dexterous, but
very much so. Very much so.
yeah.
Okay.
I'll just wait. That's fine. I'm not worried about it. As long as they're on this ship, it's cool.
Yes. Okay. So does anybody else have anything else that they were looking to do or say or converse or anything?
I would ask him how long he thinks the journey should be.
The journey, it shouldn't take very long. Just over 2 days.
Oh, that's it. All right. I would
This
expect.
is a very fast ship. It has a very good pilot. I don't know if you saw bolts.
Yes,
Yes.
he is very interesting.
He never sleeps. He never takes a break. He's always sailing. Darkness means nothing to him.
How does this machination sail a ship?
And also, why does he wear that
it's called
costume?
magic.
Does the costume help him sail? Why is he dressed so weirdly?
No, he is a automaton. He is a creature of construction by the wizards of the Circle of Eight.
Like a carpenter?
Sure.
Ash is busy. He's
except
got
with
his
boats.
notebooks out. He's writing. He's drawing. He's recording. He's making copies. He's making etchings, scratchings. Just. Well, he
Just
might walk
rubbing,
up to
having
your
soul
face
in
and
your
do a
face.
rubbing on it. He's so excited. You've never seen
Ooh.
Ash this excited ever.
Right?
It's already grating on Talan.
Yeah. Ash is like, is it okay if I sleep in the room with all the
The only other thing I would ask for now is if we're expecting any certain trouble on the way in or not. Like any either known pirates or trouble or.
Well, to be honest, I didn't expect you.
Right. Well,
No one does.
Here it is. I have 4 new crew members that just poof came into existence on my boat.
Yep.
But we sailed the flag of Greyhawk, which should give us some leeway going through.
Once we dock, how far is it to Greyhawk City? I have never been outside of the.
Well,
Bandit's
we're
Kingdom.
not actually going into the city itself. We're going into a manor outside of the city. But
Well, how long for that?
not long, just a couple hours.
Okay.
So,
Is
Sounds good
there?
to me.
all right. Well, go ahead. Find an empty cabin or room, and you may stay there. And we will go ahead and continue on our way, and that'll be it. I would ask of you all if you could to take some time to participate in the watch. To
Yeah,
you know,
that's fine. I have nothing else to do.
watch on the boat, see what's happening. You know,
I immediately send the zombies upstairs and tell them to
Oh.
keep watch.
This
Yes.
is what he does. He is.
Fortunately, zombies do not bother me. However, how would Altus take that? Or any of the good guys? Would any of the good guys be upset by that? These
I
are
mean,
also your
Alar. Yeah,
No.
I forgot about that. Alar wouldn't necessarily like it. I mean, he's not surprised seeing a cleric of Nerul walking around with them or appearing on the ship with them to begin with.
Yeah, Aldous won't say anything. He
Okay.
might watch them a little bit just in case they go crazy and start biting people for some reason, but he won't say anything about it.
Okay.
Like
So-
Dad would
Yeah, he-
find it hilarious. He'd be over there, patting him on the head, telling him, "Good boy, look over there," turning him around.
This is a magic that Alar doesn't know or really understand or care for, but he'd be studying them and sort of watching Ash around them and how he commands them and that kind of thing, just more out of curiosity than anything.
Okay.
See,
And he's ready to blow them right off the fucking ship if they cause a problem too. But.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yag is completely mortified by this,
Yeah.
but no one else seems to be reacting in any sort of way. So he's
Right.
just silently noting to himself that all these people on this ship that he thought were decent human beings not bad, but he's just like, holy, like I thought these were good people, and
Gotcha. Well,
Jesus Christ.
Vin will have a talk with Yag and kind of talk him down and let him know what's going on. So that he's,
All right.
I figured that he would have had this conversation with us at some point.
yeah. Well, he didn't know that these particular people were coming on.
Well, no, I'm saying after they came on board, once things settled down.
yes, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. So all I need to know is who's doing what watch.
I'll take
I should be during the day since
I'll take a night watch. and I'll take the entire night. I don't care. But when it's during the day, I'd like to stay in like a dark cabin with no windows.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
And I'd like to just.
And
I'd like to.
Which of the good guys would be watching during the day? I mean,
Yag would be totally happy to watch during the day.
Okay.
I mean, Altus is also human, so he.
Yeah, Alar can.
Nocturnal.
Is another one who doesn't. Neither one of my guys need to sleep that much, so.
Okay, so your two guys are.
We'll take the night shift.
Okay, you two guys are on the night shift.
The zombies are on the 24-hour shift.
There you go. Okay, so that day continues.
Just one thing when I first get into my cabin, when I meditate, I would just like to sort of try to channel the my conversation toward, or my thoughts rather, toward the Raven Queen, and say, "My queen, we have found the souls. We are close to defeating Caraptus, but I need your guidance. Do I trust these gray Hawkians, Shieldlandians? What are they?
They're Circle of 8 boys.
Do I trust the Circle of 8, and allow them to bring these souls to whoever these wizards are that they are looking into? Or do I destroy them?"
She actually answers you, which is extremely. I think she's only talked to you once since you've been put out, and essentially all you hear is a very low voice in the back of your head that just says, "For now," and then that's it.
Okay.
Ash does something very similar, actually. As soon as he's by himself down in the hold of the ship or in a room. Or
I realized that Ash is then sitting next to me the entire time. And he's like, "Well, I'm going to talk to my god."
He's actually going to seek the same, but he's going to cast guidance to do it. And he asks, quite simply, "What shall I do with these vessels? Shall I release them now so that they may go to you immediately? Or shall we follow this out and let them be returned so that they can have their natural course?"
Okay, and so basically, you actually get a response as well. Your response is, unfortunately, one of your zombies comes down from upstairs. It comes into where you're at.
Hey, boss.
And the zombie stands there, and it's got that. Remember the last time you talked to Narul? It talked through your zombie. The eyes were glowing that like greenish energy, and so the zombie comes in. "For now, my son, follow them and see where they go. If they do not wish to do anything that would prevent me from eventually claiming these souls, do not interfere." And then the lights go out in the zombie, and the zombie just turns around and walks back all the way back.
We haven't had a good Ash Talon showdown in a while. It would have been fun, but all right.
Ash looks extremely depressed.
Yeah, he was so excited too.
Windy has no gods to petition or ask of. He just sits there practicing his crossbow, and that's about it.
Yeah, Ash thought Ash's god said, "Hey, wake up, Ash, we're going to Disney World," and then they get in the car and they drive to the dentist. Like that's
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what happened. Okay, so that evening, I need both of the elves, Adam, your two characters that are out there.
One is Shatter Kai. They're no longer elves, technically.
Okay, so your two characters that are up top.
What do I need to do?
I need some perception rolls.
Okay, I need to open up the other guy here, too. Oh, good old Malice Mage Slayer. May he rest in peace. Well, he's a terrible dick, so he probably deserved to die. All right, perception roll for Talan.
Yes, please, sir.
What does that say? Because I'm looking at my sheet here.
241, it says.
Wow.
9. You got a 9.
Why does it say Ursus?
Yeah, why does it say Ursus?
That's weird. Oh, because I never changed it from
from
the
charity event. Yes.
All right. I'm like, who? And I couldn't even remember who Ursus was.
Yeah, you're living in the past there.
Perception. He's better at perception. Oh, he got an 8. He hit a +5 and he got an 8. So
Okay.
we're just too busy just staring at each other because we are complete opposites. One guy just all in black, gray skin, scars, earrings, and then the other guy just all in white with white hair, white flowing robes.
Exactly. So, and that's exactly what it is that you guys are too busy looking at each other to make sure the others don't do anything that you don't notice, but eventually you hear a very distant caw, caw,
Uh-oh.
and it comes from above.
Do the zombies notice?
The zombies, zombies can hear, right? So,
Oh, yeah.
So they're looking up, and they're looking up as well into the.
So they'd be
night
pointing
sky.
and moaning if they're hearing something.
Yes, they're ooh, and
That's weird.
Pretty bird.
yeah, and then the night sky, okay, is kind of cloudy, and it's really cold out here. Don't forget, because it's turning into, it's basically winter now. It's the start of winter, and the seas are a little on the rough side. Not terrible, but enough that the boat isn't just regular. I'm not going to make anybody roll for seasickness or anything along these lines.
Although, I don't think that. Well, Talan definitely wouldn't have been on a boat ever in his life, and probably
Neither is
Silver
Ash.
Wolf probably hasn't either. Like besides, like a little dinghy to go down the river,
Oh, yeah.
he's
Yeah,
never
yeah,
been
yeah.
on anything like this.
I mean, some of you, I'm sure, feel uncomfortable
Yeah.
by it all because it is a continuous rolling motion.
Yeah, it's definitely bugging Talan.
Yeah. You see, though, dark figures quite a ways above, because the night sky is dark, but there's certain breaks in the cloud coverage that allows the silver light of the moon to come through and reflect onto the clouds, and every so often you catch a dark shape going through the clouds just at a great moment when some of that sunlight hits. You don't really see enough of the image distinctly to know what it is, though. But
How
as
high
you
up
get-
are they?
They're pretty high up. They're at least probably like a good 300 feet easy. So it's like when you heard that caw, it was just one. It was very distant and faint. But and you guys watch for a while, and you don't really see, nothing really ends up happening.
Except that they know where we are.
So that night passes, and then it comes into the morning. The morning time, the sun breaks, watches switch, and whoever, the two of you that were on board, that were up top and were going down as the day comes to go do your trance or whatever, because you're an elf and not an elf.
Shatter Kai.
That's right. Yes.
And Alar would know what a Shatter Kai was, which is why he doesn't trust her like this other guy.
Right. But as you guys go to go below deck, you notice that Vin, he got up on the deck. You didn't notice him. You only notice him now that you're getting ready to go downstairs.
Now, is this weird to Alar because he's been on the ship with him for a little bit?
No, it's not weird to Alar at all, because Vin has a sneaky way of just being places. You know? He's kind of got like that whole Dark Knight just popping up kind of thing going on.
Well, Vin will sort of turn. Instead of going downstairs, he would go and let Vin know what he saw.
You mean Alar?
Alar would let Vin know what he saw.
There you go. Okay,
Yeah.
you said Vin would let Vin know. So.
Whatever. Can I play Vin now too?
No, you cannot.
I want to play anyone elf-like. Anyone with pointy ears, I get to play.
in one game.
Right? Okay, and Vin will be like, I heard them last night. Yes. It's we
Do
did
you know
not
what they are?
No. I'm assuming that they probably are Iuzians, though.
I agree. That was my thought as well.
If I am not mistaken, it was Prince Zeech that you double crossed.
I
Correct.
have been with you for a while. I work for the Circle of Eight.
Oh, that's right. This is Alar.
Talon went downstairs.
Here he goes. Allow me to rephrase what I said to you. It's our guests were working with Zeech, and Zeech is still pretending to be part of the. Well, as far as he knows, so he's still part of the Iuzians.
Yes.
He works with the Iuzians, and so did the our friends for a little bit. Perhaps they're curious as to what happened to the ship and
Well,
why.
unfortunately, now they know where we are, so we need to be careful.
Well, there was always a great chance that they would know where we are. This is why I'm here.
Yes. Well, I suppose they also knew where we were headed to begin with. Otherwise, these newcomers would not have found us to begin with.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so the day breaks. The next day goes. It's pretty much the same thing. You guys are served some like hardtack, and there's stuff to eat. But I mean, there is a what do you call a kitchen on a boat?
Mess hall?
Galley?
Galley.
There is a galley, so if anybody actually wanted to do some cooking, you could.
I think Alar would be a cook. What do you guys think? Or Yag. Yag, I think, would kind of.
I think Yag's probably one of his things that he does secret is he's a chef.
Yeah, actually, no, I can totally see that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I could totally see that. So the day's going to go along pretty uneventful. There is some more clouds that roll in, some gray clouds. They're gray winter clouds. They're not gray storm clouds, though. The wind doesn't pick
way
up.
to Greyhawk, we saw some gray clouds. Gad with axe is entertaining.
Oh, that's right.
As it were. Yeah.
And the water gets a little bit rougher, but again, nothing that is terrible. There is a little bit of misting going on every once in a while. It seems to come in waves, and the guy that Vin called Bolt, the automaton, is still just steering the boat like a champ. That entire day goes by again without incident, and we get to the night watch once more. Is Vin lets the rest of the good guys know what happened.
Oh, and Talan would tell the others what he saw.
Okay, so everybody on board then knows. Well, Vin would have told you guys.
Giant birds, awesome. Just like the ones we encountered on the way down to the canyon, right?
That's what I was thinking, yes.
You encountered something on your way down to the Rift Crag.
Yeah, there's these. I think they're mostly goblin riders. I don't remember honestly, but they rode giant birds and wreaked havoc and tried to kill people, and all that jazz.
Interesting.
Easy to defeat.
I would think so. And if they are flying this far south, I find that hard to believe as well. But anything is possible. Very well. So that day goes by. Like I said, comes to the nighttime, and again, is it the same watch, same procedure?
If anybody else wants to, we're fine doing it, but if anybody else wants to do it instead,
You're much more useful at
Yeah,
night.
I'm cool.
Yeah, well, Talan would definitely be there at night because that's his.
For the second day, Ash will seek guidance.
So
Okay.
Morgan does, as soon as Raleigh falls asleep is when it's easiest for Morgan to retake control. And so the first night when Raleigh went to sleep, Morgan took over and started just examining the soul, trying to figure out how to get it back. I rolled an Arcana check and it was bad, so I'm just saying since it's night 2, it would be the same thing. I roll again. He's just going to keep trying to fit. Like that's obviously Raleigh.
He can
to relax
figure out. Morgan can actually figure out.
Okay.
What would be necessary for it to happen? Opening up the clay containers would just allow the soul to just come right out.
Okay.
And essentially, it would just be then here comes free spirit.
You're just. How long were you waiting for that?
I've been sitting on that one all night.
Free Spirit was
11 months.
the first thing he came
Yeah,
up
right.
Yeah, there it is. Without the proper containment magic to make sure that it is being able to be funneled back into the soul, which actually takes a high level of necromantic.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So he can recognize it's outside his own skill set.
Yes, it is definitely outside of his own skill set. And the supplies you would need to be able to perform such magics aren't on this ship anyway. So there you go. One of the things that you would need right off the hand would be a containment circle of some sort that would be activated to make sure that once the clay pot is opened, that the soul doesn't escape. So
Okay.
yeah. So, but you'll be able to recognize that sort of stuff when you come in contact with it.
Right.
You just wouldn't really know how to use it.
Sure.
So, okay. So the next night,
Ash is seeking guidance again, basically asking the same question, but enhancing it with basically what is the plan if if everything goes awry, do we just let them all out, or if it's not following the path of Nerul?
Okay, so now I want you to do is to give me a religion check. This is just basically, and what'd you get there? What'd you
9. A 9.
9. Okay.
I am proficient in religion. If that.
Yes, and that's why I was letting you have it with the bonus onto your roll. You really don't get any answer. You don't feel like he's ignoring you. Well, yeah, you kind of do feel like he's ignoring you.
2 nights in a row, needy bitch.
Yeah. Essentially, it's like the messages was received, but he doesn't seem necessary to tell you anything else at this point in time. Okay, so
Morgan is going to be up on the deck now all night, trying to help guard as well. And he's got Bruce up in the sky. Now that he knows he can't do anything with his soul, he's like fully committed to his number one priority is making sure they get where they're going safely.
Gotcha. Okay, so the evening comes again. The clouds. It's much cloudier than it was last night. So there's not a lot of moonlight that comes through the breaks in the clouds. So I need you to roll, everybody who's on deck, give me perception rolls again.
All right. Talon. Got a 16.
16. That's not bad.
Alar gets a...
Morgan gets a 6.
You know why? It's because he's spending all his time in Bruce's eyes, and Bruce is going to get a 74. Ready?
Let's see it. Talon got a 20, so that's good. And Bruce has a really high
Alar.
perception.
Talon got a 16.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Alar. I got it. Okay.
So his actually says Alar Moonbrook on the
That's a 19.
19. Okay, cool. So basically, Alar and Morgan, through the senses of Bruce, you're able to pick up again. There are high flyers that come in, and it seems that what happens is as you guys are out there and you're looking around, I take it you've got Bruce, your bat familiar, just kind of like flying around in like big circles around the ship, sort of thing.
Exactly.
It doesn't happen until after midnight that you guys are able to detect these large objects come to within the cloud banks and fly around over the top of the ship.
So the second he sees anything, he's going to book ass down to Ash's room and just like go in there all like Mach 11. And he's just like, wake up or give me the boots. Wake up or give me the boots. It's time to go.
Well, jump right up and come right out. Not that I was really asleep because I've been,
trying to talk to your god.
He's just
casting divination and being ignored, which I'm going to take in a very negative light.
I got just
My god needs to answer me when I call him.
And he's just like Morgan's just like dragging him up to the deck, just way too much gusto. And when they get to like open air, he just kind of grabs onto his back and he's like, "Take me up."
Very well. I
How high
start
can
to
you go? How high can you go up in those boots?
I have to look it up
Infinite.
again. And it's like, I mean, it can go, but it's like per round. So
Yeah, they're, like,
It's
they're
still
slow
a
within,
travel
like,
speed.
it's a slow elevator.
yeah. It's
Oh,
We're not flying here or anything.
over the
Say,
over
would
the
you
course
like-
of the day that we've been here, Wyndon and Altus have bonded over the fact that the only people can't see in the dark on this boat.
Oh, Ash
Right?
can't.
Ash can't. Yeah.
He just doesn't. Yeah.
But Ash looks like
He
should
he
be
seems
able to.
like he should be able to.
Right. We just can't see in the dark.
Okay. All right. So you guys are up on the top of the deck. What are you going to do? Explain it to me exactly what's happening here.
I'm gonna hop on his back, and he's gonna levitate me up. And
Basically, I can cast levitate at will with the boots.
Levitate me. If all
which
in
the
all
levitate
is
spell,
true.
so.
If all in all
Now
is
here's the thing. Levitating
is true.
is not flying, so you would go
No.
up and the boat would keep moving.
And the boat will leave us behind.
we'll let tether off.
Okay, so you're gonna get some rope.
All right. I'm just
20
going.
foot.
Well, the good thing is you're on a boat. And
Right,
There's
Yeah.
ropes everywhere. Yeah.
They
That was
got
gonna
a
be
lot
like,
of rope.
We're on a boat. Like that is
Hey.
it for rope. That is the rope place to be.
Okay, so basically, I'm gonna. One of you gets to roll. It can either be Jairus or Michael. You choose between the two of you. I want you to roll 2d6.
Okay.
Whoever's faster to the draw. 11.
Okay.
Well, holy shit!
Yep, it's 11.
I mean, that's like both of those were.
It's close. It's close.
Yeah.
Okay, for you guys actually rolled really well. And what I was going to say is for each one that you got on a die, so like on a d6, if you rolled a 1, that was 100 feet. If you rolled a 2, that's 200 feet. You add it together. So there's 1,100 feet.
We
worth-
found all the rope.
Yeah,
It
there's
was
a
in the big
lot of
box,
There,
right by the
yeah.
mast.
Yeah.
A quarter of a mile worth of rope.
Okay, so you've got a ton of freaking rope.
The sails are no longer attached to the mast.
Grabbing it off as we go up.
Hold this bed sheet while we go up. It'll leave our own sail.
Meanwhile, Talan is just, if anybody looks at him, he's just smirking at the moment.
Okay. All right, so there's that rope. You can get that rope together.
So what time of the night is it? Like 1 a.m, something like that?
Yeah, roughly 1 o'clock in the
Okay,
morning.
so Wyndon and Altus are still asleep, BT dubs, just so y'all know.
Yep.
Like, no one's woken them up. So
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on things. I might wake him up pretty soon, but
Okay.
right now,
Okay.
I
this
kind
point,
of
I'm
want to
awake
see
and-
how this works out because
We all curious too. So,
At this point, I'm actually awake enough that I start to sputter what's going on, what's happening, where are we going? Before now, I've been just going on adrenaline, a little bit of trust, but now I'm like, being able to think again, and it's like, wait a minute, what the hell are we doing here?
he's talking to you, Morgan.
So and Morgan has calmed down a little bit by now because it's a slow elevator ride, and he's like, the things are back, the riders, and you're the one who can defy gravity.
Oh. Well, in that case, I cast vampiric touch and go all vampire looking, and claws and talons and fangs and bloodshot eyes. And
speaking of Talon, once they're out of earshot, Talon turns to Alar and says, "I can cast fly on 2 people."
And he's like, but it is more fun to watch what they do.
That's implied. Yeah. Alar actually cracks a little smile.
Well, maybe you should do it all the fucking time, like the Ash with his boots, and then we'd all remember.
Yeah, I think the only one that would know that was Wyndon, because I did tell Wyndon that I could fly in case we needed
There
it
you
when we were
Yeah,
breaking
yeah.
an entry.
Okay,
When you
so-
guys were floating away.
Yeah. So
So slow, just like creeping up.
right. So what is
20
what,
feet at a time?
so
every-
so you
every
guys are
6
going to tie off
No,
with
that's not bad.
where are you tying off? You're going and you're making knots in the rope. How long?
Talon will even help them tie the ropes.
Okay, cool. So how many feet of this rope are you going to tie together?
Excellent. Yeah, if someone else is going to tie us off, I say we start floating up. We got
Yeah, you guys start
1,100
floating.
feet,
I'll
like,
I'll
someone will,
tie up the ropes.
Okay, so you're tying this rope comes in 50 feet lengths. So
Yeah.
you're sitting there and you're tying the ropes together, and then you're going and you're starting to tie the where are you tying it off at?
Whatever, those little things that you tie on the. There's like usually these little
Belaying
open
pins?
holes. Well, no, I was gonna do those, but that could slip off.
Yeah.
Maybe not. But like, aren't there usually like little holes like
Yeah.
on like the side?
Well,
of
that's
thing?
what the belaying pin is for. You
wrap it
tie
around
the
there
rope
and then
to
tie
the
it.
bottom. Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
and
yeah.
you tie it around, and
Well, that's what I'm gonna do then. Yeah.
yeah. And so if when done correctly, the belaying pin allows you to pull it out and it releases the rope if necessary.
I'm just
Not
gonna make
that
sure
you're going to do that.
That's kind of funny too. But no, I'm just going to make sure it's tied on tight.
Okay, I just wanted to know where in the boat. So on the side of the boat.
Yeah, on the side wherever we were standing. So it probably on the side, maybe middle to back.
Probably towards the back would be better because you won't drag into the sails or anything at that point.
Oh yeah. So further away, yeah.
Okay. So
Like
all
a
right.
weather balloon.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you guys get the tying done.
How did
As
everybody
you've
move
got
this?
the rope ready and you start tying it around. So
At this point, I mean, I've tied like 18 ropes
Yeah,
together,
the ropes all
and they're
tied.
still like 6 inches off the ground.
how is now, this is important too. How are you tying both Ash and Morgan together?
I figured they'll do that themselves while they're floating up.
Well,
I
that's-
loop
yeah.
the rope around myself and tie it off like I'm used to doing. I mean, I know how to tie a harness on myself so I don't float away. So
Yeah, and
I
Morgan's
get it
just
pulled
holding-
around enough. I figured out, that this is the comfortable way. This is how it's going to be with a quick slip knot in case my person who's pulling me around gets rambunctious. The
Okay,
whole-
and I just envisioned that Ash is over here going, no, Morgan, like this, and then he's like dressing a kid. It's like, no, kid, come here. Like,
I've practiced this for like months now. Come on.
I know that. Okay, all right, you guys are good. You start lifting up into the air. Okay, now I need everyone else that's above to give me more perception checks.
Okay. Whoops, wrong thing.
Dun, 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 dun.
Talan. Oh, I think I did persuasion. Hold on. Perception is a 15. Oh wait, no, the first one. No, it was persuasion. So
Yeah.
15 and Alar. Natural 1.
Okay, Alar's.
He's
Alar's
probably
good.
at this point heading below deck to start to try to wake the others.
Yeah, that sounds like something that good guys would do.
Yeah.
Okay,
So he would start with his he would start with Octoon. What's Wyndham's?
Octoon.
or you dress the character.
No,
Altus.
what's your Altus? Yeah, he would start
Altus.
with Altus, then go to Yag, and then eventually Gad. Although he thinks about letting him sleep in.
It's like
And then he would go
turtle's
and
gonna
then he would
start
go
singing.
to and then he would go to Wyndon. And he at this point would probably assume that Vin would appear if there was something that he needed to appear for. Do you think, or
yeah, I mean, sure.
based on
Are you looking around for Vin?
yeah?
Okay, you go to his cabin. He's not in there.
That's what I figured. So
Yeah.
I just popped in on the way to somebody else's cabin, just peeked my
Yeah.
head in, but
Yeah.
I assumed he
And-
wasn't going to be around.
And so basically, Talon's the one who got the 16. Talon, in your smirking and whatnot, you catch. You're like looking around, and Vin is standing up on the poop, and he's just standing
Deck.
there watching.
I
He's
hope.
not doing anything.
Otherwise, I'm going to be very critical if he just pooped himself. He's standing on the poop deck. You mean?
Poop deck, yes.
He's not just stepping on
That
poop.
is the deck to do that. So
My whole image of this guy has just been.
I
ruined.
know. Oof.
Okay, and so you guys start.
Frank
you
Creed
guys-
says Vin's last name is Number. Yeah.
There you go. Okay,
It's
so
better than Diesel. Or
Oh,
worse.
God.
Worse than
Yeah.
Diesel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, Vin Diesel plays D&D. I got respect for
He does.
big.
And I'll tell you what, his performance as Groot, especially in the first
Oh Jesus.
Guardians of the Galaxy, was very moving. When he says "We are
It
Groot,"
was
that was
probably
a
the best
tear came
one.
to my eye. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
he was really branching out with that role.
Zing
Oh.
that was a good one. I liked it. I
Oh,
liked it, Steve.
yeah.
Well
Yeah.
done, sir.
Second to
Would
get
Well
you say
done.
he's getting back to his roots?
Yes, we would. Okay, so you guys are raising up. You're going up into the skies. You didn't roll. Well, did I? I don't see Morgan with a roll in there.
For what?
Perception roll.
Oh,
Perception.
still perception?
Yeah, man.
Oh, I see. Well, he's still got Bruce
Yeah, you're
flying
above.
around
You're way
as
above.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, just roll on Bruce's. Are you gonna have Bruce just basically hanging
Okay.
out with you, like come and sit on your shoulder?
More at a distance, 'cause, like we can only float straight up and he can move around, so he's kind
Right.
of our eyes, like we're kind of.
How close is he gonna
stuck
get
point.
to those dark, shadowy things?
How close are they to us? Like he kind of keep like a 50-foot radius on us and try to see how, like, when stuff got close, or I don't know, how far away are they from where we are right now?
Well, they were roughly about 300 feet in the air.
Okay, how high up
As you
are
guys
we
start-
at this point?
As you guys start, what's the acceleration rate for going up with those boots there, Ash?
20 feet per 6
Right.
20
seconds.
feet per
Okay,
round.
so you guys are rising pretty quickly,
There you go.
and you start the boat.
Yeah,
of
Catch
course,
a wind.
you start trailing behind the boat as it goes.
Yeah.
So you're doing this like huge parasail thing with the boat pulling you, and you notice, especially
Okay.
What is?
what
Hold
is
on, I got to put this
0.05?
up for those watching to
I
see.
did I rolled a 19. I don't know what the hell I did, but it's the roll was 19, so it's a 24.
Okay. As you go up, yes, and there's the tiebreaker, the 0.0523548947. As you are going up, okay, and Bruce is flying around you in circles. As you start getting up towards the area where they were flying around at that 300-foot level, they start going a little higher and a little farther out. So basically, let's say the boat's sailing and they're just kind of circling above the boat. You guys start going up, okay? Granted, you're trailing behind it. They are not coming within 100 feet of you guys as you are up there. Now, as you go up, it starts getting really cloudy and you're starting to lose good visual of the boat below. And how high altogether do you guys want to go?
I just
Once we got a couple 100 feet up, and once we realize they're moving away from us, I don't know what Ash would do, but at that point, I'd have Bruce try and get real close to him to the point where I can get a good look at what we're dealing with,
Okay.
and go from there.
The clouds. So basically, this is what ends up happening then. So you guys make it up to, we'll say, about 300 feet where they originally were at before you guys come to sort of a stationary position. The large figures that are flying around stay and keep a distance away from you. All right. You've lost pretty much most of the visual of the boat below. It's just a blurry outline through the thickness of the clouds. You're getting damped. It's chill. And Bruce, as Bruce goes around in circles, is able to glean enough information off of these shapes that are out there to be able to tell you, yes, they are some sort of bird. Very big bird.
Okay.
Very similar to what you guys would have seen when you were out going towards Rift Crag when you ran into those vulture riders. Okay. As you guys are up there, Bruce notices that one of the birds takes a dive. Starts going.
while we're hovering, I'm actually first going to cast Freedom of Movement on myself,
Okay.
and then if there's time, I'll go ahead and cast it on Raleigh Morgan, and that'll burn my spell slots.
Okay, so we will say that you're able to do both of those because as you ascend up and as he's up there taking in the information from Bruce, that takes a little bit of time. So more than enough time for you to have cast those spells. You guys who are on the deck of the boat, okay, all you see eventually, you see them floating up, and then they just become obscured by the clouds.
How long does it take everybody else to get onto the
Not
deck?
long at all, because they're all ready for some kind of crap to go down.
Yeah, so I just sort of scan the area, point at Yag. What is, how do you pronounce your name?
Yag.
Yag. Who is clearly the hand-to-hand fighter.
Yes, he's a big half-orc bruiser barbarian.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'll walk
Although
over.
he does wear a white shirt with a blue heart on it. So
Yeah, with a
He
heart.
does.
Yeah, but he's the only one with a weapon, probably.
yeah, he's got a giant fucking club.
It's not just a fun name. Gad really does carry a giant great axe. And you've seen him like practicing up on the deck, and he's very graceful with his tumbles and his swirls and his College of Swords.
Yeah, I need brute force.
Yeah.
So I'm just I'll touch Yag on the shoulder and say, "It is time for us to see what is going on up there." And I cast Fly on both myself and Yag. And
As
when
you start doing that, Vin comes down from the poop deck.
I was waiting for it.
Vin starts coming down from the poop deck, and he knows what he's starting to. As you start to cast, he goes, Hold on a moment. I don't think you need to be going away from the boat where what we need to protect is here. Your friends can go up there and go into the sky and look for things. This is fine. My men, I think, need to stay here. And at that time, this big, dark form of a great big bird comes diving out of the sky towards the front of the boat.
Oh, okay.
It's coming in now it's not coming like straight for you at the front. So like the boat's going forward. It's not coming at the front. It's coming at an angle at the side. So it's going to go and it flies down over the tip of the boat and then goes back up. It's just a swoop.
Does he ever get within 30 feet of me?
Sure.
I say, okay, new plan. And the shadows swirl around me.
Why are the shadows swirling around you, Adam?
Because I'm going to disappear and appear on the back of that bird.
Okay.
Woo! Get him, boy.
So we're gonna do
Put a
something
pin
about
in
that. But so what happens is as it comes down, something falls and is dropped out of from the bird, or there's a dark form that's on
right
the,
onto
riding
the
on it,
it's more
onto the
poop.
front of the deck, and it hits and it bounces a couple of times and rattles around
That's not
and then
good.
stops. And it wasn't very big. It was maybe the size of like a squash.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
All right. And as you start flying up, as it starts flying up and out of there, you teleport in a puff of I want to be Nightcrawler from the X-Men smoke,
Yeah.
and you're on the back of the bird. Now I need a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, I've been through this before.
Not my first rodeo.
Ooh, first time at night though.
Yeah,
That's
it
a
is.
10.
So basically, poof, you appear on the back of this big giant. Oh, it's a vulture. Oh, that's a goblin. Oh, that goblin looks scared. You're falling off the back of the vulture
Yeah.
towards the water below, and that's where we're going to take our first break.
All right.
Our break.
I knew that
So-
there was a good chance that was going to happen, but
Well,
Yep.
of course, yes,
it
it's
was
all
where
about
I
that.
had to try it.
But
You did.
it would have been fucking awesome. You gotta
Yeah,
try. That
I
would
had
have
to
been
try
epic.
it. I had to try it.
Yes, it's entertaining to say the least.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone, we're going to take a quick break. We will come back to see what actually happens to Talan. And Adam, can I say what I don't? I'm really at a loss what I'm supposed to do at this point in time now.
Yeah, don't second guess yourself. Whatever feels natural.
Hey, go ahead and get yourself some snackages, refill your beverages. Oh,
Right.
see, that's so much better when I'm able to say that.
Coca-Cola, if you'd like to be a sponsor, and Pringles, if you'd like to be a sponsor.
Oh, Pringles. Speaking of, hold on a second.
Oh, good. I'm going to break.
If you no, wait, before you
Living a Montana somewhere in a compound.
And on that note, we are back.
Oh, hello.
Thanks for waiting around for us, everybody.
Before we get back into it, did anybody see the guy break the single game record of Jeopardy tonight?
No.
$110,000 in one game.
Wow.
Fucking month.
Mm.
Before that, the record was 74,000.
Wow.
Like, so he didn't like just beat it by a little. It's like $35,000 more than the most anyone has ever won a single game.
Didn't
Yes,
Alex Trebek die?
savage.
No, he's still
No,
there.
he is sick though. Like he's got like
Oh.
pancreatic cancer or something.
He's
So he's just
dying.
showing up to work every day.
Good for
Yeah.
him. Do what you love.
Yeah.
I just want to take that guy and go do the beer trivia so I can just take him to the bars like yeah.
Well, it's not even like he is
We're
really
gonna win
good.
all the free T-shirts.
But
He just hosts it, man. He doesn't write the shit.
no, I'm talking about the
He's
guy.
talking about the winner.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think meant Alex Trebek.
it was all balls.
I mean, that
So
could be fun too.
He's up like 28 grand, and the second place has got $4 grand or something like that. And he gets a daily double and bets it all.
That's the man.
It was, I don't know. I'm geeked out about it, but like, so the guy had $71,000 going in to Final Jeopardy, and the most anyone's ever won after that was 74 at that point, which is, I lost my mind. I'm still geeking out over this
Wow.
shit.
We
Ridiculous.
can tell, which is okay. I mean, you got to have your things, man.
I
Super
once won.
smart guy.
I once won $56 at the roulette wheel in Vegas.
What? Hot
Yeah.
roller.
I would have lost my mind for that too. I once rolled a 217 after
I once knew how to card count and made very good money playing blackjack, but then I went to work for the casino.
Yes, because it was either that or do hard time.
No,
Sorry, Michael, we're not going to tell
I
anybody.
finished my degree and I went to work for him.
illegal unless you use a team.
Yeah.
If you just go in and count cards, that is totally fine. It's not illegal unless there's more than one of you working together.
Somebody's looked into this.
I watch movies. Actually, it's probably totally false, and I've been miseducated by cinema, as with most aspects of my life.
All right. So, hey, welcome back, everybody. All right. So, where did we leave off? Oh, that's right. Talan was falling into the water.
Mhm.
Okay. So, you fall off, you fall down, unless you've got something else.
I was gonna cast flying myself, either before or after, however time it takes to do it.
Okay. So let's the gas fly takes a whole action, right?
It's an action, so I may have to wait till
Second.
after I'm in the water.
Yeah. Okay. Because I was going to say we could roll and see if you do it beforehand.
Well, I mean, we could try. I mean, I
Okay.
am resistant to all damage at the moment.
Okay.
until my
So
next
go
turn.
ahead, and if you roll above a 15 flat on a 20, you cast it before you hit the water.
5.
Okay, you're in the water.
Yeah, I'm still kind of annoyed that this didn't work.
Comes up spluttering, smoke coming out of his nose. It's not
Could
water.
have finally unbrought his back. This is my
All right.
chance.
Okay.
How dark is it on this ship? Because
Oh, there's
They're
no
probably-
running lights or anything on this
right.
side. Yeah.
So Altus and Wyndon are blind, basically, right? I mean, there's maybe some moon or star. No, there's not
There
even
was,
that clouds.
there was
Yeah.
a moon.
Well, that was the night before.
Yeah,
Oh.
it was
Like,
very cloudy this
night,
night.
It got even cloudier, and it cut out all the moonlight for you, so you can see somewhat. The Vin and well, I don't know. You tell me.
Well, I would.
if Altus has a lantern. I mean, those guys who
Alar-
can light themselves a lantern.
Alar would guess at this point that these birds can see in the dark because they're attacking the ship.
Well, one came down and dropped something on the ship and then flew away.
Yeah. So
I mean, what nocturnal animal can't see in the dark? You know,
they're not going to be
See,
flying in the middle of the fucking ocean if they can't see worse shit.
right. Either that or they've got some sort of clear stuff going on.
Has anybody noticed the item that was dropped on the
No.
deck?
Vin
Alar,
is walking over to it at this moment.
Alar is going to
Okay.
cast. How much does light give you? 60 feet.
Like-
Yeah,
Yeah.
How high is the like the bird's nest?
the crow's nest.
Whatever it's fucking called. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how tall a mast on a galley like ship.
I would say 100 feet.
Sure.
So probably
We'll
like
go for that.
midway up.
Okay.
Cast light.
Maybe somewhere between 60 and 100.
You're so nice. So Alar's doing that so that the humans can see. I take it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. There it is.
Well, we need to see. I
Meanwhile,
mean,
up in the air,
and I figured that gives like a 60-foot. You know, I mean, out dim a little
Yeah.
bit, so 30 foot.
Yeah.
This way, it gets up into the air, so easier to see if these things are coming down.
Yeah. As Vin starts walking his way over to what was dropped onto the ship, he turns towards. Now, does Talan fly? Well, no, he turns to Wyndon.
Talon's in the water.
At this point in time, Talon's fishing himself out of the ocean there and flying back up onto the ship. And so he's going to turn to Wyndon and goes, "Do me a favor, bring your friends down.
What was it? Keep what?
Bring your friends down."
Bring my friends down.
And he points up in the air. Yes, the two that are tethered to the
Oh.
rope.
Right.
meanwhile, up in the air,
Yeah.
Ash went from a nice, calm Morgan, who's kind of like got his feet resting on the tops of the boot and just light hands on the shoulders, to as soon as the bird starts to dive, he just feels like his legs wrap around his waist and arms around like his neck, just super tight for a second. Then after a minute, he's like, Ash, buddy, what the fuck is going on?
So do you guys got like a ghost moment? You know, you're not really
Yes.
making anything clay, but Ash has got his arms around you,
Yes.
sort of thing. Is that was?
Purely
No, Raleigh
sexual,
does,
yeah.
apparently.
Yep.
So then I'd
He's
be like,
scared of his
"Oh,
chip, man.
it's the other one's back." Oh, God.
Yes.
And then he stops and he's like, hey, in no fucking world am I the other one. You understand me? But seriously, where are we? And I'm scared, and it's dark. And
Oh,
I'm
we're about 200 feet off the ground, and if you keep choking me, I'm going to pull this piece of the rope, and you're going to fall into the near divs. So I suggest you relax.
When you say that, he kind of realizes, and he loosens his arms at least, but his legs are still like super tight. And he's like, "Oh, sorry, but why'd you bring me up here?"
You brought me up here to see these bird things.
Okay. No,
What?
go ahead. Go ahead.
Is Morgan a fucking bird watcher? It's night. Can't even, I want to go. Let's
No,
go
these
home.
are the
Go
evil
home.
bird things.
So what's Wyndon?
You had some plan to attack
Oh.
and kill them all?
I mean,
Oh, okay. All right. All right. And now he's starting to try to look around for the birds. It's like, I'll kill some birds. You think I won't kill some birds? I'll kill some birds right now. I'll kill all the birds.
I mean, can I even pull them down? I'm not very strong. Like,
No, but
Well, they're very light now because he's levitating.
yes. So you
They're
can
like
start
a weather.
pulling-
They're like a weather balloon.
And
I just feel like, I'm not really. All right, fine. I mean, why don't we get some other people to do this too? Because if they come
And
close, I
Vin,
can shoot
okay,
at 'em.
so then Vin looks at Yarg and he tells Yarg to go and pull them
Yeah.
down. as
Yeah,
And
well.
I'll get-
as
and
soon
you know
as
how
he
my-
saw the little human struggling would go help.
You know how my crossbow is locked away? All my weapons are locked away. I just go 1 sec, and the hand crossbow will appear in my hand. So I'm ready to shoot at these things.
Okay, well, just the one
Surprise!
came down. Just the one came
That's
down.
fine, but I mean, we don't know
Yeah.
what they're gonna do. So
That's true.
like,
we are aware that it's more than one.
Wyndon feels better when
We-
he's armed. So
Okay, so as you guys are levitating up there in the sky, you feel that you're starting to be pulled down towards the boat. Just so you know. Okay. Vin is walking across the deck, and he looks over at Elard and says, "Maybe you should come with me." And they go
Of course.
up to the front of the boat to go and look at what is been dropped there. You guys get up towards the top onto I guess it's not the aft, that's the prow of the boat. And there on the ship is it looks like it's black lacquered box with a closed latch to it.
I thought it was a bomb for sure. This is
It's
and
not precluded.
Vin actually picks it up and looks at it, and then he brings it down to the lower part of the deck, and he sets it down and he goes, "Elard, can you do any of your magics on this? See if it's dangerous."
No. That's not what I do. I can do an Arcana check on it. I'm really good at Arcana.
Somehow I think we're safer right where we're at.
I got a 24 Arcana roll.
Excellent. It's you can tell that there's magical runes on it, but if anything, that's it's just a box.
Yeah.
And then eventually, you guys with Yag pulling on the rope, you guys get down there pretty quick, and you're back onto the deck of the ship.
Actually, I'm hovering about 20 feet above the deck of the ship as soon as I can.
Okay,
This is an awesome way to travel on this vessel. I might invent a new sport, call it parasailing.
Exactly.
I almost made that joke earlier. I'm glad I waited.
And so Vin is there, and he's like, "Well, I think perhaps maybe we should just throw this thing over."
That would be my suggestion as well. Yes.
Well, I mean,
so. An authoritative, non-Raleigh-ish wait issues out, and it seems that he is switching back and forth.
You're on the other end of the boat, though.
All right, we're back down now, right?
Yeah,
we're in the front. You're in the back, though.
Well, yeah, but he's going to immediately.
Well, we were tied off to the mast, weren't we?
Well, to the side of the boat.
Yeah, by the time, but toward
also,
the back.
he got freedom of movement out of him, so theoretically he could just slip right out of whatever ropes he wants.
Yeah.
But also, all of these things are happening at the same time.
Anyway, yeah, so I mean, if I'm not there yet, then I'll be there soon. But as soon as he hits the deck, Morgan is going to be going to where the people are, not the
He
crew,
wants
the
to
real,
go with
the serious people.
Okay, so it's because unless anybody's doing anything, Vin is
Morgan's going to
discussing.
cast Identify on it.
And you cast Identify, and it is it's a magical box of some sort, but you gotta read Identify for me, because I need to know specifically what you have to do to understand exactly. Do you have to open it and use it?
You have to touch it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But because I know in like the older
You choose one object you must touch throughout the casting. If it's a magic item or some other magic imbued item, you learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires an attunement to use, how many charges it has, if any. You learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are. If the item was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it.
Okay, so what this is an enchanted, and it has enchantment and illusionary magic cast upon it. And you know that it is a two-way, is one half of a communication device.
How do I use it?
You're pretty sure all you got to do is open it.
All right, then he'll open it.
Okay.
Oh, it's like a Star Trek communicator, or
Yeah, something like that. When you flip open the box lid, it goes. That's a terrible version
that
of
was
the
awful.
sound. Yeah, well, yeah. But hey, it's the best you get. Oh wait, hold on a second. I know how to do it better.
We're gonna go break. We're gonna go to break.
Okay, you flip it open. There is a billowing of like silvery, sparkly smoke that comes up out of it, and then it's we've all seen Star Wars, and we've all seen the part where Vader kneels before the image of the Emperor there. So essentially, a holographic image pops up, and it's Krasner.
We should have thrown this off of the boat.
And it pops into being, and Krasners are like, so there you are. I knew it. So you've decided to turn tail and work with the opposition. How disappointing. That's it.
And Morgan is like, really? Like, dude,
You got it in one.
Like, oh man, it's almost like trying to enslave and script in, just force people to do your will doesn't really work out.
I know. I'm severely disappointed. I thought we had a good thing going, but 6 of one, half a dozen. C'est la vie. But so I found a little bit more information out too, and I guess you're with these. Oh, is that Vin? Yeah, sure the fuck is. So anyway, so you guys are all going to take those souls to the Circle of 8 or something like that, from what I've found out. And I just wanted to let you guys know that you have my complete and utter support in this. Go with them, do what you have to do, but I just want you guys to remember that our deal is still a deal. You don't have to worry about me backing out of anything. I'll be here, and me and you, we can work again later after you get rid of all these guys. I mean, if you want to kill them now, that's fine. That's completely up to you. But just make sure that those souls are destroyed.
18 insight.
Oh, he's blowing smoke, big time.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, you already know that. What is he talking about?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then that's basically it. Does anybody want to respond to that?
Morgan would be very annoyed that he went to all this effort to just waste their time, but so he's just gonna kind of walk away from him. No answer, no anything. It's just I thought this was gonna be something with some sort of consequence.
Okay.
Alar will pick up the box. Look at, and I imagine he knows who Krasner is.
Vin knows who Krasner is because he's walking over with his spear.
Yeah, and I say, darkness will always be vanquished by light, and I toss the box over the side of the boat.
Okay, and it just goes, shoo, shoo, shoo. And as it's tumbling into the darkness, all you hear is Krasner goes, "Don't worry, I'll uphold my part of the." hits the water.
Where does it land in the water?
Just off the side of the ship.
Like in proximity to me, who's floating above the ship.
Well, it's thrown in a direction off to the side. I mean, you're just floating 15 feet above.
I'm floating off the back, so I can go either direction.
Oh, it's towards the front of the ship. Where this
right,
all
where the ship's still moving.
What are you trying to accomplish?
Yeah, that would
I
help.
don't know where it's going. I mean, the ship's still moving.
It hit in the water next to it. The boat keeps going by, and it's just sinking down. You will eventually pass it as it sinks.
Okay, then I dive down. I mean, as soon as I see it start to go overboard, I just drop down, start to drop into the water, freedom of movement on me, so I can easily be able to move through the water, and I attempt to grab the object.
Okay, this is going to be complicated because it is sinking. So what we're going to do is I need you to roll me an athletics check, and it's going to we'll put it at a DC 14. And this is basically, you aren't able to get to it before the tether that you have to the boat stops you from going any further down, and it just sinks too fast for you to get to it and goes down. Do you have anything that would be able to extend your reach or anything?
No.
Okay. Go gadget arms.
Yeah.
Can I fly out of the water now?
Yeah, I already assumed you were out back up on the ship.
No, when I fly out of the water, I've got some time here. I'm gonna just shoot. Basically, I don't know how far can I go. 60 feet, 120 feet, 240 feet, in 12 seconds.
Okay.
To see if I can. Haley, Kim, if
Morgan's watching it like that's how you fucking fly.
Yeah, and like the way that it looks like the black cloak or raven wings as I fly.
Yes. Got it. You got this whole motif going on. So you're gonna fly up into the air.
I'm gonna shoot into the air.
When, just so you know, because Wyndon's pretty sure that Krasner might be a distraction, he's looking around to see if anything else is attacking or coming at them. So
no, nothing at all is coming down or. I assume Talan is going up into the air to try and find some birds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you don't see them.
Okay.
Is there any chance these are giant ravens?
No,
because that would be
cool.
In which case, I think I could have won them over.
Okay, so as Talan is flying around up in the clouds,
yeah, I'm going to just shoot around for a couple minutes, make sure that they're gone before heading back to the boat.
Right. And then I'm assuming that Ash is going to pull himself out of the drink and float his way back up and pull himself onto.
Eventually, I spend a long time just kind of out of sight over wherever it's most comfortable to be. Probably, I suppose, off the back, just a few inches off the surface of the water, contemplating.
Just being towed. Okay.
Just being towed, contemplating, plotting, planning,
okay.
Deciding on my future.
All right. So at that point in time, so while that stuff's going on, those two characters are out of the area. Then Vin turns to Wyndon and goes, "So what is this deal?"
Honestly, he just basically said, "Well, he's like, oh, we could kill you, or we can make you do the stuff for us." And basically, he wanted the souls captured and destroyed. Steve can't quite remember the full details, even though Wyndon probably would because it's been so long now.
Well, the actual deal was this: but when you guys were working with Krasner, it was pretty straightforward. Right. Krasner didn't know what those souls were for. He knows that it was connected to these wily Caractus wannabes.
Right. He basically just wanted to disrupt that, right?
He wanted the souls, just for whatever reason. That's basically what it was. And to go spy on Zeech. That was the whole deal. That was it.
He sent us down to spy on Zeech, who he had suspicions about, rightly so, it turns out, by the way. He wanted those souls. Frankly, I have absolutely no allegiance to him. We are trapped in this lair, and, what are you going to do?
And that's where Morgan pipes up. He's like, we had so little allegiance to his deal, we couldn't even remember what it was.
Yes. So you don't have to worry. I want my soul back, so you don't have to worry about. I think he's just trying to sow dissent among us by saying that.
Well, I have to tell you that dissent has been sowed. Why would you go through so much trouble to drop off a box out here in the middle of nowhere to tell you that the deal is still on and encourage you to destroy the souls?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's his plan. You see, it's working. Like he expended a vast amount of resources in order to make it look like a sensible person would be like, why would he do that if he did?
Alar is going to cast insight on not cast, but
roll insight.
13 insight on Wyndon.
He seems like he's telling the truth.
Wyndon wants his soul back. Yeah, he's not lying at all. He's like, I'm done with Krasner. I just want to get my soul.
Adam knows that you're telling the truth, but
yeah.
No, I know.
Yeah,
but that's
so basically, Vin takes a look at one intern at each of the other guys, Alar and Yarg and Gad the Axe and what have you, and he's basically going, he just gives him a look and be prepared, and then he says, well, unfortunately, I would have to say for the rest of the journey, I would need to have you chained, if you don't mind.
Chained?
You could understand the precaution. If
Sure,
everything is still if everything is still as you say, we only have less than another day's journey before we reach
I mean,
port.
that's fine. Doesn't your cleric though have zone of truth? Can you just tell that we're telling the truth or not?
I don't know. Do you have this ability?
Altus flips up and goes, actually, yes, I can. I can prepare that, and so I can cast that. And if you want, that would sort this out pretty easily.
Well, very well. How long will it take you to get this spell ready?
Let's see if he might. Yeah, he actually has it prepared right now. So
Very well. Let's we'll wait for the others to come back aboard, and then we will do the zone of truth. If what this Krasner was saying was true, well, then we'll find out. If it's not, if what you're saying is true, we'll find out then as well. It's a precaution, you understand.
I mean,
Are
that's
there
fine.
any?
I do.
I'm guessing it's a pretty watertight ship, but down here, are there any other ways into the vessel?
From the back, there's windows that you can get into the back cabin.
All right, I'm gonna actually open that up and wander into the back cabin.
Okay. All right. So you
The captain's cabin?
That won't make us seem suspicious at all.
well,
I have no idea what you guys
Yeah.
are chatting at up there. I know you threw something overboard. I tried to grab it. And
Yeah.
missed. Oh, I'm just gonna go for a walk.
the hard part of this is I'm going to need you to give me an athletics roll, because basically where your rope is tied, it's off to the side of the ship, so you'll be dragging that way, and the windows are in the very back. So as you pull yourself up, you're going to have to try and like claw your way across.
All right. Well, I got a 16.
That works. That's not a problem. So you're able to make your way to the window. It's unlocked. You can get in, open the window, and climb in. This is actually, you climb into Vin's cabin.
While I'm there, I take a quick cursory glance around just to see if anything looks out of place, like he might be lying or a demon in disguise, or something that would be like suspicious.
Okay. Go ahead and just give me a roll.
Okay. 16 investigation.
Okay, cool. It looks normal. I mean, there's like, it's got some clothes neatly folded. It's like everything is very feng shuied and how he has it set up. There's like a writing pad with and directly parallel to it, and the ink pot, just so things along those lines. So
Strange fellow.
just neat and orderly. That's all.
He must be a demon.
He must be.
Yeah.
It could be a devil.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's fair. That's fair.
So eventually, I take it that Ash is going to come back out.
I mean, actually, no, I'm going to find my way back to the hold where the souls are and just wander, prowl, looking at things, checking out things. Have my notebook back out, writing down.
Okay, to get there, you'll have to go back onto the deck because the cabin opens up right onto the deck. So
Okay.
you wouldn't be able to get in there from there.
Oh, well, okay, if it's that in that case. Then I would just when I'm ready, I'd swing his door wide open, kind of yawn and go, "Nice comfy bed you have." And actually I ruffle up the bed even though I don't actually use
And it was immaculate. You could bounce a water off of that.
I mean, it's just totally I'm walking out, kind of stretching. Nice bed you have in there. I highly recommend everybody take a turn at this cabin.
Meanwhile, he's like,
Our
he's still
cabins
dripping wet.
Totally suck. This is the one you want.
Yeah, the fact that he is
Now, can I borrow some of your dry clothes? Because mine are wet. But yeah, anyway.
Yes. We are about to conduct a spell here to see and make sure that you gentlemen are as you say you are. We probably should have done this to begin with, but you had such convincing stories. And
At that moment, I swooped down onto the deck.
yeah. Oh, he would have waited until you came down too. So, but okay. Altus here, my companion, is going to cast a spell and to tell if you are.
I don't know if any of you guys have been in a zone of truth before. It's totally painless. You'll just when you're in it.
Yes. While you were away, and he points at. No, you were there when he opened up the box. That's right. What am I thinking? Never mind.
Oh, I wasn't.
Yeah, you were, because you flew off afterwards.
No, I was in the water.
It was when the bird swooped down.
I was in the water when this was happening. And
Talan
I
was
flew
in the
up.
water. His other character was right there.
Yeah, Alar
Well,
was right
I
there.
think
And
that's
neither Talon nor Ash have any clue really
No.
what's going on here.
Okay, neither 6 or 1. It doesn't matter though. So because that's basically what
He explained. He tells us what's
Yeah,
going on.
it's easily rectified.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah.
So yes, anyone who's willing I'll cast a spell, and then I guess Vin here will make sure you guys are on the up and up, and everything will be great.
I will tell you all of the truths and a rule that you may wish to know.
Oh yeah, don't
good.
ask.
That sounds
Please do not
lovely.
ask him too many questions.
It's
Only
so
it'll
I'll
keep
just-
us. How long does the spell last? It'll keep us here all night.
Not very long. Maybe 10 minutes, I think.
Very well. Go ahead. Cast your spell.
Don't start with him because he will take up to 10 minutes. If you want to.
Well, we'll all be it's 10 minutes. So he'll cast a spell, and anybody standing in the 15-foot radius area will have to either save or just accept the spell. So.
I accept.
Well,
it.
I'm assuming that Altus kind of like goes, okay, a little bit closer, and he like
Yeah.
punch.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
whoever's gonna be in there, and Wooden's not gonna try to resist it. He's fine. That's his idea. So.
I don't try to resist.
Yeah, Morgan does.
Oh, I'll allow this. Yes.
Okay.
Very
Excellent.
excited to.
So
freely
and then
tell the
also
story.
turn to Vin and say, okay, they're all truthed. So take it away.
Very well. These questions will be very quick, very simple. Do you now still work for Krasner or any of the Iuzians?
We
Nope.
never worked for Krasner or
No,
the.
we were slaves, and we have freed
Just answer the
ourselves from his
question. I don't
bondage.
need the stories. Just
His-
say yes.
Even the dead need champions.
His-
he looks at Talon and he goes, "You're all telling stories."
His-
I like to say, yes or no.
His
I am not working for Krasner.
neither
any
am I. His blood will be spilled by my blade.
Yes, very dramatic. Okay.
Permanent deaths are the goal of the Misery Code.
Yes.
And I fully support your decision to join.
What are you? I don't think he decided.
He is a
He just
mortal.
asked us. He asked us a different question altogether. You are going.
No,
Okay.
he's
You're-
responding
you're-
to-
No, you're imagining your. You're
Ash
imagining
is
your.
responding to a Talon.
You're imagining your own questions. I didn't. He is supposed to ask the question and then we answer it honestly. This is how this works. We don't make up our. I can say, "Oh, what is my favorite color? My favorite color is black," but that doesn't. It's completely irrelevant to what they need.
But which shade of black?
Oh, the darkest, of course, but there is a nice difference because you want to have balance, and the shadows are not one color, and you want to blend in.
Is your intention to do anything aside to acquire your own souls with the souls that we have here?
My soul
So,
belongs
yes.
to the Raven Queen.
I just want my own soul back. I don't care about all the others.
I wish for them all to be given to Nerul at some point now or in the future.
These souls,
Whether they are returned to their current host and then left into the afterlife, or if we could release them all now
Why don't-
into the greatness and grandness of Nerul, please gather around and I will tell you the story.
Nobody needs to hear this. See, once again, you're asking questions to yourself that nobody is asking. Now, these souls are to be used to free Caraptus. They must not be used as such. And I
They
will
must be
ensure
given to
that they do
Nerul.
not. Nerul does not have anything to do with these souls at the given time.
So as they're bickering, Vin just goes over to Altus and goes, "That's enough."
Well, it's still up.
That's
so...
our go-to. That would have been so much better if we were lying, and instead of answering the questions, we just went off on tangents and bickered with each other until they were satisfied. I'm gonna stow that away if I'm ever in the zone of truth when I don't want to know the truth.
So at that point in time, Vin just goes, "Very well. It appears that none of you are still in league. For whatever reason, he dropped.
Never in league.
Yes. Well,
Never.
This is good to know.
Never.
I
Indeed.
still want to know why he took so much time to bring such a device and drop it onto
Because
the boat.
he is
Well,
an
it is
evil-
very simple. Don't you understand? We take this magic for granted, as if it were easily attainable. This was a very small chance that we had a priest, I don't know how your magic works, if you will, on this ship. Without this spell, it could have sowed great dissent between us.
This is possible. Yes.
That's
Krasner's
kind
a
of what I
smart
said at the beginning, but that's fine. I mean, whatever. Glad
Sure,
we all-
It's
Obvious.
okay with
Yeah.
Lyndon. You keep studying. Maybe a little more with this and a little less with this, and maybe someday you'll
Do
be a
not
wizard.
criticize the wizard.
Yeah, great
He is-
wizard.
He has been
I'm
very.
not a wizard, so it's cool.
Keep practicing. Keep practicing.
All right. Vin goes to make his bed.
As he's
What you
wandering
get-
off, I yell after him, "Do not deny a person his right to die!"
The door closes behind him.
This is a weird
I love
revolution
when
that
Goku
Ash is starting.
interacts.
The revolution of the dead. By the way, at this
Good
time,
fucking luck.
Alar would walk up to the group at this time and say, I think the reason that this man, Krasner, left this box, and I agree with the wizards. And I give Wyndon a little wink because I know it's, that it was to sow dissent, but at the same time, he seemed to know where we are going and did not seem concerned. We must be on our guard because it is not going to be, while it is only a couple of days' journey, it is not going to, or a couple of hours' journey, it is not going to be an easy one to get to where we need to go, because I believe that there will be an ambush in waiting.
Almost certainly, by at least one party, if not more.
Agreed.
Yep.
Okay. So, with that having been said, unless anybody else is doing anything spectacular like messing up somebody else's bed,
We just
Last
go
thing
back to
is,
sleep.
as this
all
was
of the
calming
cabin
down-
doors are open. Nobody knows where Ash is, but he's just, you hear laughing behind a barrel. It's like
excellent. Okay.
So this is the first that Yog kind of has realized that Wyndon and Morgan don't have their souls, and so he would kind of go up to them, and in this like would be creepy if the vibe was wrong, but he's just got a good vibe about him. Spends like a fair amount of time just like looking into their eyes and like soaking in their whole essence. And he just like gives them each like a warm embrace,
Oh, that's
and
sweet.
just lets them know that you will be whole. I can feel it. It will be okay for you.
now,
Wyndon's
technically,
obviously not good at hugs, so he's just
Yeah.
like, "Oh, okay."
yeah.
Thank-
all right, what's
and
happening
this
here? What's
big,
going on?
giant half orc just like wrapping you up in his arms.
But
It's just-
appreciate the support.
yep.
Now,
There it
technically,
is.
Talon doesn't have a soul. He just knows where his is, and it's he's not.
Oh,
He's not going to mention this to you, though.
Garrus didn't even know that.
Yeah, he doesn't mention this to you.
You're soulless? No shit.
The
Well, I
Raven
gue- I
Queen-
guess
the
that's
Raven
how the
Queen's
whole
got my
whole
soul,
thing
yeah.
works. Yeah.
She's
All
pulling
right.
my strings right now.
Good times.
That'll be
You
Okay.
don't get Yog's sympathy though.
that'll be the second the campaign is when we go and kill the Raven Queen.
Oh, let's do that.
Excellent. Ash will lead it.
You guys can help me take back the Shieldlands. I'm gonna go be king.
That would be cool, actually. I got some things to do first, but I'm in. Just if you could just wait a little bit. Give me a
I'm
few
going to
months.
go take over all of Orif. It will all be mine.
You can have that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
It's the whole world.
Yeah, it's the plan.
Oh.
It's the whole planet.
yeah. No, you can have it.
You
I'm
do
cool.
your
I'm cool
thing,
with you
man.
running
That's-
things.
we all have faith in you.
Yeah,
There it is.
I
But
trust you.
Wyndon's going back to midnight.
Yeah,
All
right.
that's enough excitement for one night.
Okay, so now for the sake of expediency, what ends up happening is for the rest of that evening and the rest of the trip, nothing happens. There's no birds overhead, none of this different stuff.
Yeah, they don't
The
need
ship
them
makes
anymore.
its way and it makes it down. I don't remember the name of the river that leads up towards
The
Greyhawk from there.
Tonsony River.
No,
It's the
That's,
only river I know.
yes, I know. But,
and it's
good for you for
listed
trying.
and it's right on the screen that I'm reading.
yeah, completely on the other side of the narrative.
Yeah, I
But
don't-
anyway,
Oh, it's the Burkle McGurgle passage.
No, the Burkle McGurgle passage. Yeah.
so says
Yeah,
the
you just
robot.
say it with confidence.
Okay. So the rest of the trip goes fine. You get towards the river, you sail up the river, and you get to the actual port of Greyhawk. And Greyhawk this is the first time that any of you have seen Greyhawk. This big, majestic city sprawls out in front of you. But as you get off of the boat, you're led directly over into a set of carriages that are waiting. These are like big, without any of the frills, but like the big, like royal coach type carriages. So all of you guys and Vin are in the first carriage, and then the rest of his crew are in the back carriage. It takes off. You don't go in the walls or into Greyhawk City. It immediately gets on a road and just starts heading off into the countryside. You ride in the carriage for just over an hour and then pull out outside of a small keep, a walled keep. The carriages go into the keep itself. Doors, big double doors, are opened up to allow the carriages in. After they come in, those are closed. There is quite a number of mercenaries in here. There's no rhyme or reason to their dress. They all have different types of armor and weapons upon them. One guy who looks like he's probably like a Castilian or a Chamberlain or some sort comes and opens up the door of the front carriage, and Vin gets out and says, "Please come, follow me." And you guys, I take it, follow him.
Sure.
Okay.
No, I'm going to go the
No, I refuse. We're going to bicker.
I go in the opposite direction.
Nah, fuck it.
No,
He
yeah,
leads
of
you.
course.
He leads you in through not the front door of the that which would lead up into the keep, but there is a little stairwell that goes up to where there is a small drawbridge that comes down from the keep, and there's a side door. It takes you up, goes up to this door, opens it, goes in, and allows you guys to come in. After all four of you are in, he closes the door, and you're in a study. And in this study, seated at a long table with several books out in front of him, is an elderly guy. He's got kind of a gray beard. He's probably in his 60s. Not really. He's not like a big guy or anything like that, but he's got this crazy coat that's full of stars, and it's like looking up into the night sky is what his.
Raleigh likes this,
and you know right off the bat.
Raleigh's back, and he gives him the nod, and he's like, "Much respect." I see you.
But you guys
met
know
this guy before. Well,
you guys
the
have
good guys.
right,
met
the good guys have you, but you know enough of the Circle of Eight and what have you to know this is Warnes Starcoat. This is one of the Circle of Eight. Okay. Yes, I know. Extremely original. He's got a star coat on. There it is. And
That's all right.
My name is Talan.
Coco.
My name is Talan Ravengard, so I'm not gonna criticize.
You know, actually, I'm gonna drop the Nady thing, and from now on, I'll be Raleigh Coolcoat.
Raleigh Coolcoat.
Lean into it.
So as you guys come
Raleigh
in,
Jackson Pollock.
he stands up and he goes,
There you go.
"Vin, yes, and I see you've brought some more friends with you. Introduce yourselves."
I'll sort of bow a bit and go, "Sir, I'm Wyndon Frostfeld. It's an honor to meet you."
My name is Talan Ravengard.
Yes,
Kill my
and
father.
Yeah, prepare to die. Actually, if he killed my father, I'd give him a hug.
he's got 5 fingers on both hands. So
Yeah. All right, he's cool. He's cool.
So that Raleigh is going to be like waiting, looking at Ash, waiting for him to speak. Like he intentionally wants to go last.
You may call me Ash, and the river that we just sailed on was the Selentan.
Thank you.
Celentan
I knew it was something like that.
And then Raleigh bows low. He's like, "My name is Raleigh. As you can tell, of course, I am the cute one and the funny one and the great one. I am the leader, of course.
He's the Paul.
And so Warnes looks at Vin, and Vin.
I feel like Wyndon would be the John, Talan the George, and Ash the Ringo.
Right.
Actually, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty solid.
And so
Ash goes to Shining Time Station and becomes Mr. Conductor. That makes sense.
that does make a lot of sense, actually. And so Vin says, these ones teleported over onto my boat as we were bringing the souls across the near dev. They say they're soulless ones. And they seemed honest. We put them under a zone of truth. They have a very convincing story, I guess, but...
I do not know why you still do not believe us. We have been nothing but truthful. It is very...
I believe you now.
It is disappointing, to be fair.
All right, fair enough. But seeing how we were collecting the soulless ones, I figured that I might as well bring them along.
Wow, well, that's a curious way of phrasing it.
Yeah, it sounds kind of ominous, honestly.
Oh, shit. It's a trick. Get an axe.
In general, I try to stay away from collectors of men.
Yeah.
Usually not people you want to hang out with.
This guy's worse than Siege.
And so then at that point in time, Warnes goes, oh, okay. Well, and so basically, not to go back through and just rehash a bunch of old other stuff.
Right.
You guys he tells them that, how you guys came on. You guys tell him that, yeah, we're soulless ones and so forth and so on.
Or at least two of us are.
Yeah, at least two of you are. And then
My
basically...
soul belongs to the Raven Queen. I
Two
tell
and a
him
half.
I tell him like 3 or 4 times.
Yes, and he...
My good friend was once one of them, the soulless, but then he died, so that's why I'm here to avenge his death. That's why I'm here, to avenge his death.
I knew there was a reason.
And so then...
3/4. We'll say.
And so he just glosses over all of that.
Yeah.
And then basically, he after a brief exchange, Vin says, "I have all of them. They're here." And Warnes says to him, "Go ahead, begin the preparations. Take them to the chamber, and we will begin to get things prepared." He says, "But for you four, I would really wish to speak with you four for a moment, if you don't mind."
I turn to Wyndon
Him,
and say,
me, him,
he's going to ask us for something. Everybody always asks us for something.
Yes.
I don't remember
I
anyone
am.
ever asking me for anything. We're being like forced into a lot of stuff.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
fair
Maybe he wants
he's
to
going
throw
to try
us a
to
party.
enslave us.
It could happen.
That would be honestly, that would be
No,
a
I'm
really
sorry, we are being-
refreshing change of pace.
Gentlemen, we are being rude. He was trying to speak. I am sorry. What?
Well, I expect that. I just sit back and wait. And let you guys run
Right,
your
but
course and then-
Starcoat usually expects probably a little bit more decorum.
He
I'm
does.
just kind of staring
We
at
do
him
have a
like, come on, spell it out. Let's get this over with.
Like we have a tendency, to talk about people in front of them.
Yes. Yes, you do. Okay, so basically,
Everybody's got to have a thing.
so you guys, Vin goes and he leaves, and it's just the four of you in there with Starcoat. And he goes, "Well, if the four of you are, well, two of you, I guess, are soulless.
My soul belongs to them.
2 and 3/4.
Yes,
Technically.
you said.
I can draw up the math.
No, not necessary. We're getting the souls prepared. We've collected most of the people that we could find, and we're going to try and put the souls with those who have them. There is a number of people amongst the
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Morgan.
What's going? I thought he was turning into
That's the most
monster
violent
again.
Morgan takeover ever. In
Yeah,
case
I
anyone
was
wondering.
ready. Yeah, I was
Okay.
ready
I
to take
did
him
not
down. I thought it was
did
the
not
giant
animate
rally.
him. He's not a zombie. Okay.
And this is maybe the first time there's been no physical change. Morgan is just still Raleigh, but there's like this desperation and all of a sudden Raleigh's more well spoken but just panicky and urgent. And sir, and he like rummages into it. He's like, "This is my soul. I need it back."
Yes. Now, if you don't mind, could
I think he was explaining how he was going to do that.
I was, but please, if hand it to
Oh,
me.
I apologize.
No. Quite all right.
There's quite a bit at stake for me.
You've been through. You all have been through a lot, so I completely understand. So, but we are going to be conducting some ceremonies which will allow us to merge the souls back with those who have lost them. We will be more than happy to conduct that process on you so that you can be reattached with your souls, provided, of course, your souls were in the shipment, and supposedly this is yours.
Your Honor, if I may.
You don't have to call me Your Honor, but
Your Majesty,
Your Grace,
your Starness, Your Grace,
my Lord.
This process of yours must go very quickly because these souls are intended to bring back Caraptus to this world in which he will destroy.
Yes, we know of this. Actually.
And the Iuzians
and hold on.
Are they going to
hold on?
try to stop this?
If you let me finish,
there are gnomes.
I will answer all of your questions.
Okay, please continue. You know about the gnomes.
You know something about this situation that we don't.
I tell the zombies to pay attention and to get them focused ahead again.
As he pulls out a book and starts reading it. give me the quick version later.
And he goes, so, like I was saying, we are more than happy to do that for you, to get your souls back to you. However, if you would, we are putting together a team of individuals such as yourselves that is going to a place called White Plume Mountain.
Oh, I would be honored to go. I'm ready to leave today.
Excellent. I'm not sure how you might not be able to enter any points at Talan, any points at Ash. Because you two still have your souls intact.
My soul belongs to the Raven Queen. I do not have.
Yes, you said that. I can do. Yes. I can cast a. Actually,
I do not have a soul in my body. It is in the hands of the Raven Queen as we speak.
Well, that would be good.
Can you visit it on weekends? How does that work?
I don't need it. A soul would only complicate what I need to do.
Priest of Neural, please, for one moment, I'm going to cast a very simple spell.
He's going to take your soul.
It's. I'm not doing anything harmful towards you. And he does a quick spell and he goes, yes, this man has his soul in.
Raleigh's going to counterspell it. Bear in mind, he doesn't know what he's doing.
Okay, just go ahead and roll me a d20.
Oh shit!
You got to beat
that. That was Will. Okay, I thought that was Raleigh's roll.
Well, all right, let's do it then. Why is it taking so long?
I don't know. It's building up.
Building up some sort of suspense.
Seriously.
Roll 20.
I mean, if it were like a lower roll, this would be suspenseful. But I'm not rolling a 20. Come on, I already had.
It could happen. You rolled 2. That's true. That's true. It's not happening.
You rolled a 217.
Okay, so
16. There it goes.
Close.
20 minutes later, it finally showed up.
Yeah,
and interestingly, as soon as it popped up, Jairus disappeared.
Yeah. Technically,
now he's back.
I was back so fast. Though.
Technically, for the purposes of mechanics and stuff, you could have countered that. But for intents of storytelling, you do not counter it. And so,
sure, yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah. He goes, because you have your soul, and let me put it to you this way: we found out that Caraptus has returned or is returning. We found this information out. We've uncovered what he's attempting to do, and yes, you're correct. These souls were intended to go to White Plume to conduct some sort of ritual, which would then allow him to cross over. I do believe he is in the realm of shadow at the moment.
Indeed.
And we don't have all the specifics, but we know enough that this is what these souls were being collected for, is to bring him back through. And
I am here to stop him.
Yes. We also found out that this shipment was not all of the souls that were garnered. There were many more souls that were collected and have been delivered there already. So we don't know if we've been able to stop it yet or not. Now we have a little bit of a problem. And that problem is that we've sent people to try and infiltrate and take care of this already. But it appears that there's some extremely powerful magic.
It sounds like you've been sitting in the rain.
You've been waiting for us. That's what you're trying to say. You're getting to. You didn't know it all along, but you've been waiting for this motley crew of magnificent.
No, we were just about to send the group that we already have. But if you would wish to join,
then they would die, and they'd have to come back. Go ahead, send them, and they'll
I've got powerful magic that prevents people with souls from getting there. Is that where we're going with?
You're correct.
Right. Of course.
Leave
it to the wizard. You sure are fucking smart, Wyndon. I'll tell you what.
No, I just know how the gods hate me. So
yeah. And so therein lies the problem.
Nerul loves you, my son.
That's not true.
Okay, but that's not the. So
just out of 2-day rule, and you will know of his love.
It appears that this one here is willing to go. Ash, you said your name was. We could perform a ceremony as well to draw your soul out of you if you wish to go.
Selected me.
There is only one who may do that.
Let me guess. Nerul.
Willing, exactly.
Is it me?
Well,
what if they just send it directly to
Nerul
Nerul so you can be alive and be with him at the same time?
Yeah,
that would be
that
really cool.
Would be amazing, wouldn't it?
Well, unfortunately, I don't think you'll be able to enter into White Plume. We've attempted.
I'm going to cast a suggestion on him, on Ash, and tell him to give up his soul. All the cool kids are doing it.
I mean, you're the only one who has one. Like, it's kind of embarrassing for you.
Right. Don't you want to fit in? We've all been laughing at you.
That would be a.
So that's
wisdom
15 wisdom.
Oh, he's probably pretty wise.
Yeah.
I'm just staring at you. I know your tricks, young one.
Well,
you are my apprentice.
You know what? Yeah, the teacher's still the teacher.
I mean, with 24, that's hard to argue.
Yeah.
So, yes, I mean, you're welcome to accompany them, but I seriously don't think that you're going to be able to get within the. I mean, we would send more of our own people, but well, yeah, there's not really that many people willing to give up their souls on the chance of getting in to see what they can do. I, for one, and the members of the circle that are still relevant, we have not been able to defeat this magic that keeps out those with souls.
You're starting this, if I may. And I turn to Ash. If this beast Caraptus were to return to this world, any soul which is killed, or that is killed, which would be many. Well, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Ash.
Oh,
stop! Yes, you could not. You don't even.
Well, you said your starness. I assumed.
I said if I may, because I'm interrupting you, and I didn't want to do it. Just, yes,
well,
I'm trying to be
polite. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Anyway, if Caraptus returns to this world, there will be many souls, which will all go to him. This is a man who is called the King of Shadows. He wants to rule this world, and he is not a friend of Nerul. He is an enemy.
Yes.
You have an opportunity to stop this enemy. You can take it, or you can hold on to your beliefs, and you can die with the rest.
And also, when they take your soul, they don't just put it like anywhere. You get this really cool jar.
No, this is much
like,
worse.
Look, this is not. This is a nice.
Caraptus will
nice
not.
jar.
Caraptus will not place the soul in a jar. Your soul.
A handcrafted, personally engraved jar.
Yeah.
Your own name.
That will not happen once Caraptus comes to this world. Your soul will be his.
And I can assure you as well, you can carry your souls with you. And I can show you and enchant the containers that once you're inside, if you deem that everything is all right, you can put your souls back into place.
You know what would be great is if you get in there, you put your soul back in, and then you pop back out, and you're on the front lawn. It's like, oh, God damn it!
And Warnes actually says, now granted, I don't recommend all of you try it at once. Maybe one and see what happens, and then go from there. So,
the ancient traditions of worship and sacrifice must be preserved and upheld. If it is a sacrifice that is demanded, then it is a sacrifice that will be taken. But one must die for this to happen.
Is this a yes or a no? I'm not sure.
Yeah, Warnes at this time goes, I don't know what he's talking. What are you talking about?
I totally get it. You guys got any slums around here? Just a couple of no one's gonna be missed. I can wrap this up.
I know you're not suggesting that we should kill an innocent.
A sacrifice must be made.
I'm not suggesting anything. I'm asking for the location of a dark alley.
I'm beginning to think maybe we leave him here.
Master Starcoat, this is going to sound, I'm sure, incredibly selfish to you, someone like you, but if I could just get my soul back now, what's in it for me to go to Plume Mountain just because?
If you do not stop the Caraptus from coming to this world, everybody will die. Your soul will then be his, which is much worse than what it is now.
Because of what Talan said.
Forget.
Fucking Raven Queen.
I say
Shut
I am.
up.
You know what? I am ready to go whenever you need. Then I just sit in the corner.
It must be done for the reasons that Talan has given, but an innocent must be slaughtered in the process.
Always got to be
must be slaughtered. For what?
Can innocent be like a lamb?
That's okay. Where's Morty? Have you guys seen Morty? He was really handy.
You guys short-sightedly left him wherever we were. I wanted to bring him. I like Morty.
You just gave him the Prince Siege.
I was only going to leave him under the sea somewhere, so it's probably better that we left him.
Warnes is like, if compensation is what you want, trust me, if you do this,
Nerul demands the compensation, not me.
He's talking to Windows.
Yeah, he's ignoring you at this point. Yeah.
and then he looks at you and he goes.
And at this point, Raleigh goes over to Ash and he's like, "You're talking to the wrong guys, buddy. Come with me." And he's got his arm around his shoulder, and he's like, "This is where you can be my apprentice. Come on, let's go find a bum."
Okay, and as you start to turn, Starcoats goes, "No, you're not going to go find a bum.
Yeah.
You'll not kill anyone.
Bums know where the best taverns are. We're just interested in a night of raucous drinking. That's all."
Yes, I think you're missing the depth of that you're in right now. I am a member of the Circle of Eight. Now,
that's cool. I'm a Press Ganged Opportunist.
Yeah,
he holds his hand down, shake his hand.
And with that, he casts a spell.
Raleigh still just got his hand out there.
He casts Charm Person on you. Actually, he casts Gaze on you.
What does that do?
Let's look it up.
It's like a compulsion to do something, or else you suffer terrible pain.
Yeah, it's a compulsion. It's
That's
yeah.
fun.
Although, hold on, it was kind of nerfed a lot in 5th edition, so it might not be what he turned.
Yeah.
I might not. Let's see here. There it is. Okay, so place a magical command on a creature you can see within range, forcing it to carry out some service to or refrain from some actions or courses or activities you decide. If the creature can understand you, it must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or become charmed by you for the duration. While the creature is charmed by you, it is
26.
5d6.
Oh, that's a pretty good roll.
He was putting it on Raleigh.
He's not casting it on you, Ash.
Oh.
He's casting it on Raleigh.
Raleigh is just going to default counter spell.
Okay. And a gaze is a 5th level spell.
Why is he casting it on Raleigh? Raleigh's all gung ho to go.
Yeah.
Raleigh's gung ho to go kill people.
Yeah. Starcoat
Well,
is
trying to satisfy
killing
the requirements to go.
Yeah.
He's on your side, whether you
Right.
realize it or not.
So I understand that as the DM. I see what you're doing, but you're talking about killing somebody in the presence of a member of the Circle of the Eight. And
Well, he's just talking about going drinking. I don't know what you're talking
He's
about.
alluding to killing people. There's
Yeah,
a big
alluding is
difference.
enough.
Maybe it's insinuated.
So you can go ahead and roll your
All
count.
right, let's see what the rolls for counter spell are.
You basically have to roll a d20 and you get to add your charisma modifier. And if it's, in this case, 15 or above, you counter. If not, it doesn't work.
All right, so I'm looking for 11 here.
By the way,
This
I
is-
also
we're
have
gonna roll
counterspell,
D20.
Steve. So every time I cast it, I'm going to need you to help me out with that.
No problem.
So
There it is.
just a heads up.
All right, here we go. Just under 50-50 chance. Dun, 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 dun.
One. Natural
That'll
one.
fail.
Your luck
Trust
ran
me,
out with that 217, my friend.
It's
I
not.
know, right?
It's not that bad, but it's basically what he does is he casts it on you, and what he's saying is you'll not harm anyone while you're in my lands or in the territory of Greyhawk.
Right.
Well,
That's basically what he tells you. So
That's my understanding of the world as it is now.
okay. Then he turns back to Ash and he goes, "I'm not going to tell you what to do, but
I'm just going to tell Raleigh what to do.
No, I'll tell you this, and that is, we are not going to be killing anyone just so that you can satisfy Nay rule. You can have your soul pulled from your body if you wish, and placed in a container which you can keep. That is the option. Otherwise, you.
I
Are
love the
free to
way
go.
you phrase that, by the way. Place in a container that you may keep. It's a beautiful keepsake you could then put on
That's
your
right.
mantle.
I mean, if you're willing to pay the $19.95 at the gift shop.
It's just, yeah.
Well,
You
that
do have
gets
to pay for
tacked on
shipping and
with
handling. Yeah.
with your mini bar and everything else that you do while you're there. And but he
How
tells you,
does this protect the temple? How does this preserve the temple?
again, I don't know what you're talking about.
How does this protect or preserve the temple of Nerul?
The
If you will not
temple-
let me have a sacrifice, and I have your word that you will support it, or at least not persecute it, as your kind is wont to do, is known to do, and is infamous for doing. Hero.
Well, thank you.
To be fair, now I'm kind of
I-
thinking about persecuting it. Is that wrong?
Well, basically, it comes down to this: we don't like innocent people being killed to satisfy the lust of some kind of dark god.
I see ghosts surrounding you who would beg to tell the difference of how you slaughtered them in their innocence, in their prime, when all they wanted to do was go about their daily business of taking over the world, and you slaughtered them.
It's like
Oh, that's
That
funny.
is-
Even now they whisper in my ear about your treachery and how you betrayed them one after the
Oh.
other.
Oh, no, you
Oh.
didn't.
so true. Look, I already have others. I'm just making an offer. If you don't want to go, you don't have to.
Oh, cool.
I
Cool.
simply ask, how does this protect the temple?
That is for you to decide.
If Caraptus comes to this world, your temple
He starts pointing at
is
Talan.
destroyed.
I think you've heard it 3 times already.
Yeah. He will end everything, and the souls will belong to him. Like, that should be enough.
Now, I've heard that story even before he came in here. And while we don't know specifically if that's 100% true,
He is trying to take over the Shadow Realm, and he will steal the souls as they are departed from the bodies.
yes.
Common fucking knowledge.
But we know these facts. One, that Caraptus, a being that has supposedly been gone for over 1,300 years, is attempting to come back and manifest into this plane. We don't need another problem like Iuzian. We've already got that problem. And this would appear to be the starting of another problem just like that.
And look, if you got a
And
problem,
his
I'll
magic-
solve it. Check out the hook while the
Oh,
DJ
gosh.
revolves it.
So,
Today, Kai chat.
yeah. We know
That's how we meditate, yeah.
we know that, and we know that the magic that is on White Plume right now is intense. And if we could maybe
camping?
Mordekainen could do something about it, but who knows where the hell he's at right now. He hasn't been a participating member of the Circle of Eight for quite some time now. So
Can we at least see if my soul is actually here before?
Of
course.
That's awesome. They
Of
did
course.
say that some of them are at the Plume Mountains, so you don't.
and,
you really
and,
don't
and
know.
we will allow you to go through the ones that we have, and if we can match your souls with your bodies, we'll give them to you. So it is your choice. Like I said, we already have members assembled. I figured we would ask you as well. If you do this, of course, we would be greatly indebted to you, and you would be rewarded as best as we can. If that means allowing you to have a temple of Nerul here within the city,
Oh, that's too far. You're going too far.
well, I guess it depends on what you intend to do in said temple.
He's going to kill innocent people. He's been talking
I
about
wish
it all
to
day.
be the prong against the Horn Society, against Juliana, who would do nothing more than to blaspheme
Oh,
the temple.
I also am against the Horn Society, so I'm kind of now in his camp.
I have a feeling if this guy said, and there's this gang of roundabout kids that we need to take care of, Talan would go, and I hate these damn kids too. I'm in.
And then
Every day I come outside, there are bullets on my lawn. It's terrible.
So,
Get off my lawn.
so
That was my best Clint Eastwood. Not
It was
great.
pretty good.
we can definitely I can promise you this. We can speak further and attempt to do what we can to help you with that. Depending on what sect of Nerul worship you are, it very well could be something that could be arranged.
I would ask for you to inquire to Doken, the Death Champion of Rook Roost, to come here and start preparations.
Oh, am I going to play Dokken music again? Yeah.
I don't need anything so fancy. 3 ships
Gold, though.
and men to crew them would be plenty enough for me.
Okay, well, we can see about that as well. I mean, do you agree to go?
Yeah, sure.
I
why not?
agreed to 20 minutes
let's-
ago.
Let's more mortal
Yes,
payroll.
let us get this. The temple must be preserved at all cost, and all sacrifice must be made. That is the
Right,
first and
right.
final
Like
mandate.
I said, 3 ships laden with gold and men to crew them, and I of course, I'm happy to help.
And what does your other half want?
Oh, my wife, she's back in the Shieldlands. I haven't talked to her in years.
Yeah.
Very well.
Nice lady, though. I do think about her from time to time.
And if coin
You
is
guys
what-
can't hear it, but the audience is now listening to Dokken breaking the chains.
absolutely nothing to them. Maybe you should tell them why you're playing Dokken.
Because he just called out Dokken or whatever it was, and that's close enough for me.
Dokken, the death champion of Rick Roost,
Yeah.
my old boss, who has
Yeah.
asked you to go seek out and bring here so we can establish a new temple.
Yeah, that guy.
Sounds like somebody I want to fist fight.
Yeah.
There it is.
I want to fist fight somebody just looking at this terrible fucking music video with these idiots. Oh my god! Like, what are they wearing? Like, they
That's
think
the
they
80s.
look.
You leave that alone.
They think they look cool,
You leave that alone.
but they don't. They don't
We
look
need to
cool at
ask
all.
how much it costs to live in Greyhawk. Like what's a comfortable living costs per year in Greyhawk?
Would you be happy if we gave you 200 platinum?
It's a start. Am I allowed to keep whatever I find in the temple
Of course.
or in the Blue Mountain?
Sure.
All right.
Provided
Sure.
it's not some weapon of mass destruction. That,
Yeah, I don't care much about that. That's fine.
Yeah, of course.
My only reward is that justice.
Yes, I
has
know.
been
Served
That's
you
nice.
stop crap this.
Do you know where that's from, by the way? What's that quote from?
What?
Three
My only-
Amigos. Three Amigos.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, so now we learn where the inspiration for Talan comes from.
Yeah, he comes from. Yeah, he's
But,
he's basically Ned Niederlander. Yeah.
When are we departing for this place?
In the morning, would you like to meet the others, though?
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. I'm a people person.
Just so long as we're understood that the 3 ships laden with gold and jewels and women and men to crew them, and like I said, I'm happy to help. I'm not a greedy man.
It sounds like
Clearly.
you're all very greedy in your own personal ways.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm not denying that.
Yes. Yes.
Fine.
And it'll be difficult, but I can send word to Recruist for you, Death Color.
I'm sure you'll have no problem with someone of your abilities.
You're right about that. I was trying to
By
be
the-
modest.
By the way, out of game, whatever. Trent's here, right? Like, wasn't Trent on the boat with us?
Oh yeah, what
Yes,
about
he-
Trent?
Hey, what's
What?
up with Trent? I forgot about him.
Totally forgot about Trent.
Yeah, you did. I didn't.
So you didn't, but he just intentionally was not involved in the whole bird.
I still think he's a traitor. I don't trust him.
Yeah.
So basically,
Plus
what
the
happened was,
experience.
remember, you guys were on the boat. You teleported over, and
Brought dumbass with
Oh,
us.
did we not bring Trent with us?
No, I thought we did bring him.
Did we
with us.
blow him
Oh,
up
I
or have
know.
him killed by a Bulgara?
No, we brought him with. He was
came
there with
He
the
came
group.
with.
The-
and he
the
was
team.
there, and you guys started talking to Vin, and then that was the last you guys saw of him.
Huh.
If that was
Oh,
last
is he
I
the
saw
fucking?
him-
Was Trent the doppelganger?
I mean,
Doppelganger.
Raleigh wouldn't have paid any attention, but Morgan, if Trent just went missing, like conveniently
Yeah,
throughout this
Trent-
whole thing,
Well,
he
let's put
would.
it this way: when you guys were on the ship and you teleported, when you came over to the other ship, Trent was there with you when you showed up,
Okay.
Right.
and you guys
Where
started
is he now?
talking. And I guess this is the reason I didn't even say anything was because I was waiting to see how long it would go before you guys figured it out.
Yeah,
And
long
then-
time.
Yeah, and so you
Yeah,
guys,
wrong time.
you started talking with Vin and all that different stuff and went through all that rigmarole. And basically, after you guys got done talking with Vin, he was gone. So now we can retcon it back. You guys would have gone back. You would have been like, holy shit, what's that? There was a search of the ship, and Vin was gone. He wasn't there anymore. You don't know what happened to him.
Vin was gone? Or Trent was
No, not Vin. I'm
Trent.
sorry. Trent was
Okay.
Trent.
That's a bit of a retcon there.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
huge
right?
retcon.
It's like basically you guys went and did your whole conversation. The other guys popped up, and then
I
basically,
didn't trust him from the beginning, by the way.
yeah. So then
So-
that
Two things.
Of
that
course.
night, you guys go and you go to bed. When you get up the next morning, Trent's gone. Okay, so
Yeah.
There's
So,
a
so two things. Super gonna kill Trent, and then anyone you tell me not to kill from here on out, super gonna kill them.
Gonna kill him
I've never
twice.
told you not to kill him.
No, we told him. Not
I'm
to kill
just
Trent.
just the people in
You
the
know
world.
what? And
We're talking captain,
yeah.
ship, little girl on the docks, anybody.
They-
Just
yeah,
gonna
they
follow
Raleigh
my murder hobo gut.
Raleigh was gonna kill Trent, and Wyndon
was.
and I stopped him.
You did. You guys did. Yep. So basically, what happened was that night when everybody got up the next morning, Trent was gone. You guys would have searched the ship. He wasn't found anywhere. So you guys don't know what happened to him.
Doppel
And
Trent.
whoever was
I don't know what happened to him, but I know what's gonna happen to him. He's gonna cross my path at some point. I'm gonna eat his heart. It's gonna taste great.
He probably teleported himself all the way back there to Krasner. Cheater.
Who knows what happened? All you guys know is that
You know what happened to him.
if you go way back to when you were in Red Hand and when you were at I should say in Alhaster with Zeech, when you guys showed up, remember Trent was there,
And
but
so was Dartenganger.
Dartenganger when you first saw him, but then the next day
We never
and
saw
every day after
Dartenganger
that,
again.
you never saw Dartenganger again. You only saw Trent.
Ooh, well played, Dartenganger.
So and then
All right,
that's basically what ended up
And
happening.
who knows where Dartenganger is now? 'Cause he
Exactly.
could be anybody.
He
Oh
could-
shit! Is he
And why
really-
didn't we kill him? Oh,
I know. Well,
What? Seriously, why didn't we kill him? I was so hard wanting to kill him. I'm killing everybody. That's it from now on.
Because
I didn't wanna do
Ash
it.
had a
Like, if there's
moment of
the slightest
weakness and
inclination-
decided to let somebody live.
yeah.
there you go. There you go.
Character flaw that would never happen again.
There it
Never again.
is. Murder hobos
All
to and
right,
fro.
all right, Starcoat, you're going down. We got to murder you. now.
The loose ends.
No
I've been
NPCs shall survive.
Right. So so basically, if you guys all agree to it, then basically he's going to take you, and he's going to take you and show you everybody else who's going. Okay. So what ends up happening is he actually doesn't do it because he's way too busy and important of a guy.
He's got a
He has
cool
one of
coat.
his.
Yeah.
He's got one of his servants.
Some guy with a
do
stupid
it.
coat is going to do this. Yeah.
And out in some back yard area, there is 24 guys and girls, different races, prepping. They're like, cleaning up armor, sharpening weapons, packing packs, things along these lines. And you recognize a couple of them from people that you saw from that very first episode where there was the big old jailbreak and a bunch of people left.
Yep.
You just don't remember their names.
Right.
But the bulk of them, you have no idea who these people are. The servant tells you essentially, these are all volunteers that are soulless like yourselves that are going to attempt the raid.
And they probably agreed to this right away.
Of course, because they're not soulless. No, you actually notice you guys can tell bandits, people from the bandit kingdoms, and there's quite a few people there that you can tell that these are similar folk. Yeah, but then there is a number of other different people that are there that are not. There's a guy who actually looks like a fucking paladin, in your stereotypical paladin-esque kind of way. He's got like shiny silver plate mail armor on and what have you. So, I mean, there's a number of different people there. So,
I immediately ask him if he's heard of the Church of Nerul and if he's considered converting.
That'll go over well.
converting to such a foul god? I think not. Tritherion would never allow such things. If we weren't on such a mission right now, I'd cut you down where you stand.
Yeah, check
Oh,
out
that's-
SoundCloud/Tritherion Jesus for.
No doubt we should play some of that music again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta
So-
make some more too. When I'm done with the web series, I'll make some more of those tracks
There you
because
go.
I have them all written down.
Excellent. So there it is. Basically, they're gonna leave on the morrow, and you guys can go with.
Yay.
This is
Wyndon
what I've been waiting for.
Happy.
I know that's what
Super
that's what Talon's been waiting
Army.
for.
It's gonna be great.
And so what'll happen during that night, during the day, while you guys are there, you are taken over into a very large subterranean room where all of those, it's just tons of tables, and those clay pots are all over the place. And they match you up, Wyndon, with yours. versus
Yay.
there. You have the option of carrying it with you or leaving it there for safekeeping.
He would ask how breakable these things seem to be.
I mean, they're made out of clay.
They're made out of
Yeah.
clay, but they have also been enchanted. So they have,
Right, that's the thing.
yeah. So they're not extremely breakable.
Keep that shit on your person, man. Are you crazy?
No, because like he'd actually. That's a really tough call. He thinks that the people running this are actually decent people, and so he's not worried about like being double crossed or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he is worried about dropping his soul down like some sort of bottomless chasm in this cave or wherever they're going.
Yeah, that would suck too.
But now Dartenganger is also around, and who knows what he could sneak, or somebody else could sneak in and steal it.
They searched the ship and didn't find him.
Yeah, he's like a
Oh,
barrel
he-
or something.
He
I
could
mean,
have been one of the people searching the ship.
Yeah, he could have been, but it's more likely because they used magic when they were doing the search. So they're fairly confident that he wasn't on the ship anymore.
Irrelevant.
got picked
Take
up.
your soul and put it in your pocket. You don't walk away from your soul like, oh, you hold on to this. I'm sure it's safer and not with me.
no,
Put
I
your
mean, you
soul
don't
in your
carry
pocket.
all your money around with you. You put it in the bank.
Yeah.
This isn't a bank. This is like you don't carry all your money around with you. You give it to Jim to hold on to. No, you don't. No, you fucking don't. Put that shit in your pocket. Die or keep your money.
Jim
Right.
is very
Does-
trustworthy.
Okay, hold on. Does Ash want to try and commune with Neuro?
Yes.
Okay, I figured as much. He will actually answer you. Again, through your zombie, if your zombies are still animated and following you, which I
Oh, yeah.
I assume
Okay.
there. Yeah, I think that's an
And
assumption.
he will tell you essentially that tonight he will send tonight he tells you to go out into a field, lay down, and he'll send someone to come and collect your soul to keep a hold of, and then he will bring it back to you because your time on is not right yet for him to collect it. You have much work to be done there.
Excellent.
He will do that. And this
Much
is
more
this is-
trustworthy than the coat thing.
yeah,
Oh,
and here's the thing, because I have not really done anything about this. There's certain magics that will work against you guys because you don't have souls,
Right.
but you just haven't run into it,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody's really thought of it to use it against you because you don't appear to be undead.
Mhm.
But there
Wow.
are spells that are necromantic spells and
So
stuff.
we're
that
essentially
can't
undead.
work against you. Yeah, essentially.
I mean, it shouldn't be that surprising for me, I suppose.
Right.
I did actually die, and and I'm still here. So,
In case you
yeah.
guys are wondering, it's like, well, what's the big deal about not having a soul? It doesn't seem to have affected me yet. But
No,
things
Wynn's
like
quite aware of what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
yeah, things like
Man.
Command Undead would work.
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
you. Shit like that.
All right. I think he's going to. He's really torn, actually, but I think.
Mhm.
I think he's going to keep it on him and just make sure it's as absolutely secure as physically possible to make
Okay,
it.
sure.
I think it's a
He's
good
he's
idea.
really torn though, because like
It is a tough call.
it's a real tough call.
It is. Okay, so basically, then what happens is you guys are allowed to prep, allowed to get everything that you need together. So any kind of don't do it right now, but before we play again, if there's any kind of rudimentary stuff that you would want,
Right.
you're able to get that. And then on the next day, what happens is a large portal is opened, and all of you guys are marched through it.
I would like push to be the first one through that.
You're allowed.
Portal.
You're allowed. And
On,
so,
the prep,
I'm sorry, what?
on the prep day, I would spend most of it actually chatting with Salis and pumping her for every bit of information that she might have or know about
That's a
anything going on here.
Idea.
Okay. So what basically what I want you to do with that is give me a list of questions, and then ask them to, because Salis has gone beyond the ask me just a couple of questions sort of deal. She's kind of become bonded to you. Okay, so she'll be able to. It's what, 5 questions?
Yeah.
Now? Okay, she can answer 10 questions for you, and she's not going to beat around the bush for it. She's actually very helpful. So just get me those questions, and then I can give you the answers for them.
All right.
Just do me a favor. Tell her to tell Malice the Mage Slayer I said hi.
As you guys, so the next day, Talan goes charging through. You guys go through this gate. I've
got like really cool like black makeup. Like it's like
yes,
it's like lines down my face. Like
Gene Simmons is jealous.
Yeah,
it's like a Scottish version of a goth. Is that instead of blue paint, it's black. Yeah. Scoth. There you go. So as you guys move through the portal, you go from where it is relatively sunny where you're at this manor outside of Greyhawk. And you come out, and as you come out, there towering in front of you is the big, massive White Plume Mountain. Is right there. And you go from that relative sunshine into a very overcast, it is snowing landscape, and the portal closes behind you guys, and you've got a little bit of a map. Basically, the entrance is a mere, like, they dropped you like almost right on top of it. They say you go up this place so far, and there's going to be a cave entrance. It's like maybe 50 yards, and then you can take that cave into the mountain. As soon as the portal closes behind you, you hear a deafening roar coming from up in the clouds above you. And as you all look up into this snowy, cloudy sky, out of the clouds comes a swooping white dragon.
That's awesome.
Right down. And that's where we're going to end.
Yeah.
Cool.
Excellent.
Dun, dun, dun.
We did get a dragon.
Yeah. See, it only took us a year, but we got a dragon to go with our dungeons, and we're getting a proper dungeon to go with our dragon.
There you go.
So
all right, we've checked all the boxes.
Excellent. Okay, so that's it. This is where we're going to wrap up for the night. It was just a heavy being silly and role play evening. There could have been some combat depending on how things washed out with the vultures, but you guys.
I really wanted to capture one.
I know you did. Again. I know you did. You that basically would have been it. If you'd have been able to hold on to that, it would have got different.
Yeah.
So. But there you go. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in and watching. Let's go ahead and just give our roll call of our illustrious cast here before we tune out. Michael, go ahead. We'll start with you.
Hi, Michael. And I'll be here again next Tuesday. And that's about it for now.
And you'll be playing Ash Umbro.
Yes.
All right, Jairus.
Jairus, I'll be playing Raleigh as long as I'm here, or as long as Raleigh survives, I guess. You can also find me right here Friday nights. Was at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I DM the fine game Ravana, where you find Will and Adam as players.
Can't wait to see what happens on Friday. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. That'll be some interesting stuff. See if you guys die or not. We're still in the middle of combat.
Yeah,
I know, right?
And now Alistair has a chaos orb.
I know.
What could go wrong there?
Like, I've looked at possible outcomes, and one of the most likely ones is everyone else dies while Alistair makes off with this priceless heirloom. But who knows?
That's always a possibility.
It's happened before.
Steve.
It would be great to see him, the sole surviving member of.
Yeah,
that would be kind of cool. I'd be down for that. All right, Steve, go ahead.
Steve, I'm playing Wyndon, who's just living through a series of continual disappointments. But
yeah, you were so close again. You're sold.
Yep.
Well, you're holding on to it now.
Yeah, at least you have it in your possession.
I guess. Yeah. So we'll see if he freezes to death via White Dragon next week.
Yeah, there's always that. All right, Adam.
Hey everybody, I'm Adam. You can catch me here Tuesdays. You can catch me here on Fridays at 8 p.m. like Jairus said. Also check out YouTube/Mr. AtomPL for finally updated Return to the Bandit Kingdoms. We're updated, except for the one we lost. That was sad.
Yes,
Episode
that was
39. Hopefully it wasn't a good episode.
I did such an amazing job on that
It
episode.
was
would have
Michael's
Emmy. It
finest
was
work.
Emmy
Yeah,
quality.
It was.
Yes.
Ah,
very
Beautiful
worthy.
work.
Sad.
Beautiful work.
Yeah.
But otherwise, so 40 of the 41 episodes are uploaded now onto YouTube. You can also catch my old web series, The Reset Switch, and soon.
Which is actually really good. What happens to the cat? We need a season 3. We need to know what happens to the cat.
I know the cat is my favorite part, actually. There may be a season 3. There may be a season 3 after we do Super. We'll see how it goes.
Don't leave us hanging about the cat.
Although I do already have ideas for season 2 of Super, which is a superhero web series coming soon. Probably, it's going to be a while, guys. It's probably not going to be until like early fall.
Right.
But I can promise it's unlike any superhero show or series that you've seen.
That's just true. From what I've seen.
So,
But does it include a talking cat at the end?
no, that would be awesome. But I should put it in as just like an Easter egg, yeah. there are some other allusions to the Reset Switch, so you can tell that it is the same universe.
Oh, good.
Excellent. All right. Well, I am Will DM. Of course, I'm the Dungeon Master of Return to the Bandit Kingdoms here. I am also DM of tomorrow, the very first episode. Well, technically, we already had one. It was a test episode.
Yeah,
but tomorrow
cheated.
is the first official episode of Tales of Savage Land.
Cool.
Yeah. It's going to be at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. And so you can tune in for that. And
It features an entirely new cast.
entirely new cast and an entirely new game. We use the Savage Worlds rule set for that. Like Jura said, you can catch me on Fridays for Ravana. And if you want to care to give me a holler on on Twitter, and tell me how bad I'm doing, you can catch me there.
Yeah,
at
that's what
Giant
people do
Stop.
on Twitter is they just fuck with people, right?
Pretty much. And that's about it. So again, thank you everybody for tuning in, and we will see you next Tuesday. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.